they drink from bottles with their mouth, the whole shit over. Yeah. I be like, dirty ass fuck. I hate kids like that. My cousins do that shit, man.
Oh, we can talk alright? You already did the pre-shit?
Yeah, I already did.
Oh, I ain't know.
I did already.
Alright, but
gotta let us know, man.
Happy New Year, guys.
Happy fucking New Year, man.
What's your New Year's resolution now this time?
I ain't got no resolution. You know why? Because resolution means you resolving something.
That's what it means?
Like, yeah.
Oh my god.
Like you were going through something, or like you have a problem, or you're trying to resolve something new. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
For this year, not even because you're supposed to do it, because it's the new year.
Yeah.
It's just another day at the end of the day.
That's what I mean. Is like, I think like through life you're supposed to always be constantly resolving your conflicts, right? Like
regardless of.
But if you're relegating it to just this 1 month thing, then it's never gonna last, because you're only thinking, hey, it's the new year, and the next thing you know, well, now I'm gonna stop because it's not new year anymore. Like it's just yeah, it's just like
that's what.
Oh, we have Adam back on the show, guys. I just wanted to.
Welcome back, Adam.
Yeah, welcome back, Adam.
I haven't been here in like when like.
He's our most prepared guest.
It's just
distinguished, bro.
Third time.
This is third time.
Yeah.
Really?
Yep. Yeah, tired of you, Adam. Nah, I'm playing.
For those who may think we fuck with him, we really don't. He's just
he just knows where he lives.
Yeah, he just pops up like, I'm here now.
He's just always available.
Right. Y'all be busy and shit. He just like, yeah, I'm busy. I'm free. I'm free.
Oh man, you would have thought this nigga lived down the block too.
Right, this nigga live in.
Shout out to Adam, son. He's got going all the way from Queens.
Wait, where do you live?
Middle of nowhere in Queens.
I'm not gonna say my address in the fucking podcast, bro. I live in Queens. That's it.
Not your address, but like which part though?
The part where they have houses.
The whole fucking Queens.
That's where I live.
Except Jamaica.
Well, actually, I used to live close to Jamaica.
But yeah, so
no, that was not close to Jamaica.
It was pretty close. That
was like 20 minutes from Jamaica.
Yeah, within a mile.
This is a lot driving.
I'm driving on fucking Hillside Avenue for like 10 miles and shit. I'm like, God damn, I'm going out of state.
It was not that far.
So y'all do the resolution shit, right?
Yeah, I do have a resolution, I would say. My New Year resolution is to cut down on the carb and
say carbs, like food?
Carbs, yeah. What's the other?
Yeah.
What's the other shit?
Yeah.
Carbs. Damn,
there's
I just
carbs,
had it
sugar,
in my
fat,
head.
calories.
No. Carbs
protein.
and no. What the fuck? I always forget shit, man.
Well,
I read too much.
Is it? Because it's
carbohydrates and starches. Yeah, starches.
Okay. That, you know what? It's important to ask that, because like you know, like when people say carbs, they only think of like what, like bread,
potatoes, greens.
Yeah.
But you know, like fruits are carbs. Sugar is a carb.
Oh, wow.
So it's like, you know, people be saying like, oh, I'm having a no carb diet, but then they eat an apple. It's like you're eating carbs.
No.
You're
but see, that's the thing. It depends on what type of carb, because synthetic.
That's more of like natural carbs, like fruits, vegetables and stuff like that. And then you have processed vegetables. And then you got
like
processed.
vegetable that bill you. Yeah, so I came in your body and I fixed everything.
You ate 3 broccoli.
Here's your bill.
You ate 3 broccolis this week. But it seems like you actually know what you're talking about, though. Yeah. I mean, most people don't. Yeah. Like, you know, like you said, like you're like.
Go ahead.
No. You basically just said it, like the difference between natural carbs and then processed.
Because I was gonna say, I hate when I come across people with diabetes, and they're like, "Oh, the doctor said I can't eat this fruit and that mangoes, it has sugar." I'm like, my nigga, that's natural sugar. It's not gonna alter your fucking
right. And a lot of niggas that have diabetes, they never tell you that meat is the leading cause.
Yeah.
That's not a tangent. But they never tell you that though. They always say, stop eating those cakes and sugar and all the sweet shit.
White bread is actually worse than meat in a sense. White bread, like white bread made out of white flour.
From white bread,
Yeah, that shit's worse than, and wheat bread is not that healthier than white bread. It's like, it's a percentage healthier, but it's not that healthy.
I think bread as a whole is not even really good.
You gotta use like
that bread made out of mug though.
Teff and
I love me some bread.
And spelt bread.
That's just something.
Yo, I'll just eat bread just by itself. Slice of bread, like
I remember.
Snack on.
I remember.
Yeah, niggas on
Uvu would eat cold hamburger buns. Like cold, like fresh out the fridge, cold hamburger buns. No butter.
Son, I've been through a lot of shit. Not a lot of shit, but I've been through shit in my life, man. When niggas ain't had no snacks in the crib, it's 3 a.m. Niggas on video chatting. There's no cake, there's no ice cream, ain't no cookies. We ain't even no Kool-Aid. I need some with a little bit of sugar. Just a little bit. Oh, you got hamburger buns? Pass those. Cold? Yes, sir.
That shit's weird. It never shocked your teeth or anything?
Shock? No, it's not. That's not freezing. Cold, not like ice.
Yeah, but
nah, how do you keep your bread?
Right in the fucking freezer. Like
I keep my bread outside the fridge.
Yeah,
really. Yeah.
It doesn't mold faster.
No, we eat it out.
Oh yeah, it's like 8 niggas in the
house. What are you doing with that bread, bro?
See, my mom, she puts everything in the fridge to make it last long, and then we don't even fucking eat it.
Well, it's one of
those. Yo, so how they cut you off? That's how they cut you off. My mom was the type to buy ice cream and then get mad if I eat it, but then she'll let it spoil.
Yeah, my
I'm like, Ma, this nigga's starving in Guyana right now.
I knew you was gonna say Guyana.
I'm
always use Guyana for his.
Yo, Abdalla's in the house starving right now. Like,
I'm not wasting this food, these snacks, nothing, bro.
If Dominique was like a feed the poor producer,
all
the videos would be in Guyana. We need some Guyanese people. Oh man.
Yeah, there's a reason why you put yours over there, and why I didn't want them to be on the table at the same time, because I knew that was gonna happen.
Good reflexes, Adam. Good reflexes.
Oh shit! Don't worry, just don't. My lip touch that side.
Just gonna turn this around.
Yo, I used to do that when I was little to like siblings and shit.
Mm-hmm.
Like cousins or whatever, when they drink from me.
Yeah, me too.
I'll turn it. Like,
I want that
wet spot. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that shit was nasty, man.
Mm-hmm.
Nah, but I've been in a low carb diet thing.
Oh really?
Like, cutting out.
Aren't you fasting right now?
Yeah.
But you're in an all diet.
No, but I'm not like. No, I'm not no carb, no sugar, no fat. No. I'm a 0 calorie
Every
diet.
time you say no carb diet, you know what comes to mind?
What?
You ever seen Malibu's Most Wanted?
Yeah.
Remember his freestyle?
It's like the freestyle.
Where he's like
traffic,
looking for my
no,
chopstick.
not that
and
one.
then,
Not that one.
When he trying to bag the girl in the shop.
The freestyle. No, when he was on the stage, Mike Epps, where he's like, "It's Black History Month."
Oh yeah, right.
He's like,
oh yeah.
It's
just something like my window.
No carb. Shit.
Damn, that's 2 times dropped the ball.
Just no carb diet. No, he was like, stop. That means no more pasta. You rappers kind of slow, and I'm kind of faster.
Yeah.
Yo, Dre, you got cornrows in your hair. You got cornrows down there. I got a watch. It's a swatch. And every time my mama do my clothes, she uses bleach. Yo, that's just funny.
Malibu's Most Wanted. Most Wanted. It doesn't get the praise.
Yeah. It deserves.
It deserves. That shit was a classic.
Yeah,
and it was funny.
That's how I feel about Scary Movie 3.
That movie is funny too. I was just
on
Scary Movie.
Not all of them.
After 3,
after 3, that's what
That's what I'm about to say. I'm about to say 4 and the other one. Yeah. Like from 3
back
below.
Like, yeah.
Fire.
And but most people cut it off at 2 though. They'd be like, "Oh, Scary Movie 2 is the best and last best."
Wasn't
one.
3?
I think 3 was
the,
like
Aliens.
The one with
I was watching the Aliens.
Yeah.
That shit was mad funny when the alien was walking past mad fast. And they was looking at the camera.
We were just watching that shit too.
So don't scream. It was Uncle George.
So you good at remembering lines from movies and shit.
Didn't you have a freestyle in that shit too when you were doing the 8 Mile?
Yeah. Oh yeah, we're in the hood now.
Oh yeah.
It was against Fat Joe.
Yeah, that was one of my favorite like cameos of Kevin Hart. When he was playing the hype man.
He was humping.
His early years.
Cause I always remember he always used to like pop up in like movies and stuff like that. I think one of my favorite like cameos of him is either Scary Movie 3 and then from the 40-year-old version.
Oh yeah.
Right.
I was just thinking that.
That scene is
the
funny,
funniest shit of all time.
Yeah. One of my favorite Kevin Hart movies is Paper Soldiers.
I knew you was gonna say that.
Rockefeller produced.
Yeah.
That shit was hard, son.
Stacey Dash.
Yes.
When she was black.
Right. But moving on though.
What diet are you on right now? We've been talking about all of that, our diets.
You see my fucking body weight, nigga. If I go on a diet, it's a wrap. I'm
Well,
gonna
diet doesn't
disappear
mean
this
losing weight.
I'm gonna say this though.
I know. I was being joking.
Yeah.
Nah, I'm not. I mean, I'm already vegetarian.
He's on the Hollywood
I'm
diet.
trying to like not eat cheese so much. I just ate pizza.
Yeah.
It's just I'm trying to find a good vegan pizza spot. I mean, I don't drink milk at all. I'm trying to get away from like ice cream too.
That's funny.
And I'm a sweet tooth nigga, so I gotta find like alternative snacks.
Yeah.
Cause I think it'd be very hard for me when they say sugar's addictive, nigga. It's addictive, bro. Like I said with the hamburger bun, like I need something sweet, my nigga. Like I don't care what it is, nigga. I done ate peanut butter out the jar.
I would rather you do that than anything else though, because that's like probably the healthiest like snack that you could have.
Yeah.
And you can put it on bread too. Just but
yeah, I'm trying to find like alternatives as far as like foods and shit. I don't really need a diet though. I eat mad fruit on a daily. I be eating apples and bananas and mangoes and shit at my job.
Diet is essential. The connotation of the word diet that a lot of people have is that diet means losing weight.
Yeah, right.
Like,
but I'm saying everybody has a diet.
It's really just a shift in your eating.
Whether it's
but I'm
saying is whether it's
things.
controlled or not, you have a diet. Like
everybody has a diet.
Throughout a week, there is something that you eat all the time. Like like
right,
or,
and
like,
that's literally your diet.
That is your diet.
Yeah.
And so when you say you're going on a diet,
I want to starve myself. I'm thinking like,
yeah,
that's not what that means. Man.
Right.
Like,
but yeah. There's something before we get off the topic though. It's Ethiopian. It's called injera. It's really
it's
good.
like their
It's like roti.
Yeah, it's like their bread.
It's not
It's
bread.
salty as
fuck
though.
No, it's not. It's not supposed to be salty. It's supposed to be a little
like,
sour.
What's it called?
Injera.
There are two restaurants
really
in Hell's Kitchen that's like Ethiopian, like authentic.
Yeah, Haley.
I don't remember the name of it. I had went like 2 years ago or something like that.
Yeah.
But so the way that they use it is like they'll use that. So it was like the injera. And then they have like an assortment of meats and sauce and something like that. So you just like peel off the injera and then that's how you eat it. But to me, it was very salty. Like I couldn't, and I hate salty.
Probably was how they made it because
you're not supposed to. Yeah, if you look it up,
and it's super healthy.
It's not supposed.
And it's
super healthy.
Healthy if it's super salty.
Super good for you.
It's made out of tough.
It might be super salty.
You up.
No, I'm not saying like it's salty like seasoned salt.
And that's the taste of it.
He looks
here with attitude.
We got black guy on table 4. You know you guys
extra salt on that motherfucker.
Not knowing this, he's African as well. That's
fuck.
a funny thing,
right? Madagascar.
I'm remembering the name now. It was like Princess or something like that. What's the name of the Ethiopian princess?
I don't know. I just know
Disney.
No. Like the actual.
That's the.
Because when I hear princess, like that's how fucking programmed I am in fucking America.
Oh,
I thought princess and thought Jasmine Disney from Jasmine. Jasmine from Disney.
Yeah, I like that.
But yeah, it's really good.
But yeah, it is really good
it
for you.
Stimulates.
It's a royal family in
Yeah.
Ethiopia.
Yeah. All right. So King David. You ever heard of David and Goliath?
Yeah.
Okay. True story. So King David slew Goliath. And Goliath was like a giant at that time.
True story.
Yeah. True story. Abdalla. Shit.
Well, they were also like. This happened so long ago.
I was gonna say Charlie Murphy is. I was gonna say Charlie Murphy's true Hollywood stories. But yeah. But So David, he ultimately became a king. David had a son Solomon, and Solomon, wisest man on the planet. He ultimately married.
He's dead.
He ultimately married Queen of Sheba.
That's the name of the restaurant. Queen of Sheba in Hell's Kitchen.
Yeah.
There you go. Sheba's the name of the.
Oh,
yeah. That's.
You
that's
just grabbed my shoulder on some fucking. Adam's mom, your son is touching me again.
Again.
Damn. Keep your hands to yourself, Adam. Anyway, yeah. So he married Queen of Sheba. She was one of his wives. He had like hundreds of concubines.
Damn.
That's chicks you just smashing. Then they had a son, Menelik. Menelik had his son Menelik II, and then Haile Selassie is in the lineage. So Haile Selassie goes all the way back to King David. Mm-hmm. So it's biblical, lineage.
Yeah.
And they tried, the Europeans. They tried to say, "Oh, Haile Selassie, he's not part of the family. He was like adopted. He was a nephew of Menelik II." I was reading up on this stuff, but I plan on going there September for the
bring food, but
where?
Their New Year. Ethiopia.
Okay.
It's pretty dope. beautiful, beautiful women. When I was with my brother, we went to Ethiopian spot. I got some injera and I made my own stew. And yo, chicks is like dark skin, beautiful, son. Yeah. Nice shape, everything. Mel, this is Adam that's talking right now. Yeah. This is not
This is not Abdalla. That was Adam.
This is Abdalla.
But even though we're recording video.
Yeah.
But
there's a lot of history there.
Yeah, I wanted to jump into something this episode. Yeah. Well, we all did. This is the first episode of the year. We wasn't gonna have anybody, but this nigga pulled up, so we're gonna have him waiting outside in the cold.
It's the holidays.
We want y'all to put on y'all thinking caps this episode.
Thinking cap, tinfoil hats.
Yeah, this isn't gonna be like a multi-topic episode. Yeah, it's something that we've been thinking about doing for a while, on top of some other things.
Also, we're gonna be diving into like a lot of like. Not a lot, but...
Don't cut me off, look at it.
It's done. No, you were finished. You were done. No, you were finished. You were done. But we're gonna do into like government conspiracies or something like that. Yeah. So you're gonna be on the on the watch list.
A little.
You're gonna be like a little bit. But I'm saying is that
okay,
yeah.
Okay.
We're gonna talk about some things that you might not want to be a part of. So
right.
Yeah.
I always have trouble doing that.
I have to separate that first and then do it.
What? How?
We're not white like you.
Yeah, we don't watch. Yeah. I never watch.
We don't watch Star Trek.
Star Trek.
Star Trek.
I've never seen
Star Trek.
I was more of a Star Wars guy.
I never watched Star Wars.
But nah, so I've been thinking a lot about like.
You know what I've been thinking about, bro? Like
look, that's my shit. I cut you off, and I say sorry.
I realize that. No, but then you say you're not sorry afterwards. Like right after you say sorry, you're like not sorry to cut you off.
Yeah. It's formal than disrespectful.
That's my thing. So I've been thinking a lot about the simulation theory lately. About like just because for those who don't know, I'm agnostic. I used to be atheist. I'm agnostic now, and that basically means I'm not sure if there is a God. If there is, cool. If there isn't, that's fine.
You know what
I don't really give a fuck.
You know what I hear when you say that?
What?
Progress.
Because
when I knew Dominique was like,
son,
Dominique was like, there's no God. I do not believe in God. Da, 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 da,
you know what it is? That it is growth. It is progress, but it's not progression towards believing.
It's my subjective interpretation of progress.
It's
because
maturity.
Someone who's atheist, they're like, that's regress.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
It's maturity because like I used to really believe some shit like, it's no God.
Yeah.
Y'all niggas is
poof.
Y'all niggas is
dinosaur.
Very
that's what he used to tell me.
I was very condescending
and ignorant.
Yeah,
and arrogant.
It is
arrogant.
I'll say if we're talking about
very arrogant
and midget.
It's like
I'm not gonna agree with that. You just trying to make me agree with that. I was that. I was a midget. I was arrogant.
That's what you
He said wasn't. He said like wasn't.
I tried to sneak it in.
What you was doing? Yeah.
Oh man.
No, but I say like it's people who are on both ends of the spectrum to me are the ones that like I agree. I mean that I look at it as the same sense. People that claim they know the answer, and then people that claim that they know it's not true.
Yeah,
like either it is true or it's not true. It's like on the other sense, more of the people were saying like, oh, like there is no God, like definitively. Like how did you come to that conclusion? Like what's going on? Like there is not like there's no definitive answer for it. And that's kind of why. But then I also don't like the people in the middle who are like can't make a decision.
See, the thing is, I'm not in the middle. I'm not even in it. like here's the circle. You on the outside, you more close to God. You're in the inside. You're more far away.
So where are you?
And I'll be. You trying to be in the middle.
I'm
not even in the circle. At the end of the day, like
he's waving.
Whatever.
Across the street.
And I told one of my friends this recently. I said, whatever someone draws strength from to get them through tribulations.
That's
I'm all for that.
Yeah.
I'm not in the circle. If there's a God, fine. If there isn't a God, somebody prove there isn't a God, that's fine. My life isn't going to change me personally.
Yeah. Right.
But I just been thinking a lot about simulation theory. I was just watching a whole bunch of videos on it, and I heard about it before. But it's just recently, this last 2 weeks, I've been really on it, and like how like coincidences seem kind of almost like calculated in a sense. And then me and Adam, you didn't watch it, but this new special called Bandersnatch. It's a Black Mirror in it, and anyone that knows fucking Black Mirror, you know Black Mirror will push the envelope on your mind. That should have you thinking about shit in a different light.
Yeah.
And it's like a 2 hour special, and you can make decisions. Like you can make decisions.
It's on Netflix.
It's on Netflix, yeah. But you gotta watch it on like a PS4 or like a smart TV.
Oh.
Not on your phone because you won't be interactive. You can't make decisions on it. Yeah, it only works with like.
I think you can do it on your phone.
Nah, I tried it. It gave me. No, it said it's only compatible with like gaming devices and like said that. But yeah, in that movie, it was based around like kind of like assimilation. You would have to see it. I don't want to ruin it for everybody.
Right.
But I've been thinking like, since I don't believe in God, it seems like certain things be happening because somebody made it happen. And like, are we even really here? Like, we're so complex as like beings that like we kind of like figuring shit out. But it's like, are we even here right now? Like, how are we so sure that we're programmed to think that we're alive when we're really not?
Well, wasn't that
You know what I'm saying?
the French guy?
Frederick Nietzsche.
Descartes. Yeah, he was the one that basically said he's like the brain theory. Like your consciousness is like in your brain, right? Or whatever. All these impulses, everything you do, like moving your hands, like everything that's controlled through your brain. It said it's possible to have a brain that has no body, but give it all the impulses to make it think it has a head, it makes it think it has an arm, it makes it think it has everything, and it'll believe it. Like it'll just go around doing that. That's kind of like the question you were saying is like, do you really have a body? Like, is this really like it's a philosophical question that they ask. And my interpretation of it is, I think it is possible. I don't know if I'm not saying that we are, but I think it is entirely possible to give the brain every stimulation it needs to make it think that it's out there doing shit.
I think that we are operating out of. I think we're operating out of free will, and that there is no like.
Yo, this nigga's wild, son. He's like,
there's no intervention from outside sources in terms of intervening in our lives, causing coincidental incidents.
Well, all right. Well, you can't say
you don't believe there's something causing that.
Yeah, I don't believe.
So you believe in coincidence?
Not even God, though.
Well, that's the thing. That's the thing. I don't say I believe in God. I say I have knowledge of God.
I know God.
Okay, yeah. But with that exclusion, it sounds like something else may be, influencing or someone else. In a sense.
It doesn't have to be
like
that
the Truman
high up.
Show, like
it
could be people like manipulating
or the devil. You believe in the devil?
No. Well, no. What he's saying is it doesn't have to go
is
that
God's
high up.
lower self. So it depends on
I've never
how
heard somebody say that before. Cause
every person got a higher self and a lower self. Your higher self is of what's good, righteous, love. Your lower self is hate. Against.
That's very interesting. You
so
say
God's lower self, if God created everything, that means obviously God created the devil. If according to the Bible it says, the devil can do everything God can do, except give life.
Give life. Yeah.
Now, that's all the more reason for me to have this belief that God and the devil could be synonymous because
one being.
One being, yes.
Yeah.
Because the only thing God could do is, and that's if it's a he, that's another thing. The only thing God could do is give life. So, like I said, love is your higher self, hate is your lower self. Mm-hmm. So if evil is, encompassing a being or whatever, you cannot give life because there's no love present.
But look, that's very interesting you say that because a lot of folks that believe in God don't believe in that ideal. But my biggest thing with people that believe in God is like, and it's always been like my biggest like, I want to say pet peeve, I guess, about folks that believe in God is like when things are always going great. Yeah. When things are great and you make accomplishments,
it's because of
thank God, right?
Yeah.
But then when things go bad, it's no words of God. It's always like, why did this happen? The devil is strong, but like,
it's not good for personal growth because then people would just be like, well, if shit's like not going right in my life, it's nothing I can do about it. It's God's will or something like that. So it's like demotivates certain people. It all depends on how people look at it. But I agree with Dominique when he says like, people just want to attribute all positive things through something other than themselves, even though they're the ones that make it
positive. Just about to say that's the main thing. People love blaming shit on outside, external factors,
right?
Because majority of people have a problem with taking them taking themselves accountable for shit.
Yeah.
Yep, absolutely.
A lot of people can't deal with accountability.
Even
Only when it's good.
But even
No,
when
even when it,
even
yeah.
doing,
Well, I mean,
even doing good because
he's
it's
just
like,
talking generally at this point.
I always see people like, and I get it. You believe in God, that's fine. That's great.
Knowledge.
Right?
I mean,
But it's like when people, like, I always get a little thing where it's like, you work so hard all your life for this, right? You work, like, you bust your ass for this, right?
12 years of medical school.
Right?
Yeah.
You do all this hard work, and you get on stage, and you say, this would not be possible without God.
I mean, that I do agree
And
with.
I get it. If you believe that he brought you here, then okay, you're here because of him, you could say. But it's just like,
wasn't possible because of you. Like,
what's the point of working hard and having all these aspirations if you're just going to chop everything up to God? You know what I'm saying? Like, where does your self-accomplishment comes in? Because if you're saying that you can work so hard, but if God don't give you that grace, what, you never be successful?
Well, it's not the grace. It's just the chances to live
The
another
ability
day.
to.
That's the main reason.
But
That's why
see,
people... Adam,
um,
damn, what the hell?
that I'll say.
That's what
is reasonable. He's giving you the
chance to
live.
have another day of
but then
chasing
the
your dream.
agnostic in me is thinking like, I'm alive because I eat healthy. I'm alive because I haven't got hit by a car yet. I'm alive because I haven't got shot yet. I'm alive because of these things, not because somebody's giving me like. That's the agnostic in me saying like, all right,
so
I'm alive because
so
I created a healthy lifestyle and I haven't gotten cancer yet. I haven't maybe got AIDS yet. I haven't become the son.
I just want to say something really fast.
You said well, not yet, but
I haven't got AIDS yet.
You know what I mean? The point I'm
He
making.
didn't even say yeah. He said maybe I don't have AIDS.
But what I'm saying, like, that's what the problem was. Like, I'm here because of things that I created.
So if you were to go on stage and thank people, you'll be like, thank you for all the nice drivers who haven't hit me yet. Thank you for
I would go on
vegetables.
stage and I would thank
you for.
I would thank the people around me, my support system, and that's where it would stop.
But see, your experience, what you just said, your interpretation of it, is
all
from a smaller scheme of things. You're not
It's
looking
more
at
close
it
to
from
you where you
exactly.
are, yeah.
So you're not taking into like overall life.
But whatever Dominique is, you don't need to.
No, I am though. I'm just disregarding that.
Well, the thing is,
I know he's about to say,
yeah,
you can continue if you want.
No, I want to give Adam a chance. I just wanted to say that
because he's kind of
Nah, what I mean is like
we should just not let him speak for the rest of the episode. As soon as I finish speaking, open your mouth and
Right.
start saying.
Well, you might have AIDS, so.
Yeah, what you saying?
I might have AIDS. Who knows? Oh yeah.
No, I need to cut off that part of the video. What I was gonna say was the example that you're giving about like people using God as positive things. I don't see that as a problem. Whether it's true.
Problem.
Well, what I mean is like.
That.
The question that you asked was like, what's the point if you're just gonna attribute it to God? Where it's like, well, if you're using God as a reason to go through medical school to do that, that's fine. That's fine. Like I'm not gonna.
Like I said previously.
Yeah, but then but then you shouldn't ask him what's the point of doing it if you're only doing it for God. So it's like who cares what you're doing? What you're doing it for? As long as you're doing it, as long as it's good. But then there are also people who do bad things because of God, and then and that's where the accountability thing comes into account, where it's just like you can excuse your behavior by just saying, well,
like bombing people.
No one can judge me.
I hate
enslaving people.
No one can judge me but God.
Yeah.
Something could be stabbed.
The judge system can judge you.
Yeah.
Somebody has to be in jail for life, nigga.
Aren't there people who are like that? They'd be like, oh, I'm not gonna go to court because you can't judge me, but only God can. It's like
I'm sure there are folks that do it like they take that shit
extreme,
serious.
Yeah, that extreme.
Yeah, I don't anyone who is an extremist, you gotta be wary of them.
Well,
in any sense.
In anything.
That's.
I'm not me. Yeah, I'm probably like the opposite. I'm not extreme in anything. I don't think.
That's what I meant the last thing about people being like on the opposite end of the spectrum. Either you're extremely for something or extremely against something. Like I don't want to be on your side.
Life is about duality and dichotomy. Like you need to relax.
That's very true.
And balance.
Yeah.
That's what life really about. You're constantly balancing yourself. What happened? What?
You just said the same thing he did, just in a different word.
Really?
Yeah. Duality.
Oh no, I mean I know that.
It was like that episode of Fresh Prince when he was like, the girl was like, well, you're relentless, aren't you? He's like, yeah, I don't stop either. I was like, alright, well, that one always made me laugh.
That's mad funny. But nah, like, I had we'll get to the simulation thing a little later.
Oh wait, hold on. You did say something that was important.
I'm coming over, motherfucker. I want to say something.
Because you're gonna leave the topic. I want to bring attention to a point that you made and a point that you made that's relevant to this.
Don't make me forget what I'm about to say though, because
write it down.
It's regarding around like the belief of God and shit.
Right. Well, so you probably always had this thought. You're just trying to put it into words. But what I mean is, you said like, for example, you said that he's not looking at the broad sense of it, like not looking
I don't know what you mean by that.
You're more like closely related and something like that.
Condensing it to his personal life
and his perspective.
I'm not though.
That's
the thing. I'm not though.
But
I already took all this account. Like everything you're about to say, I already took that into account.
Okay, all right.
And I made a decision.
I want to hear what he know what I was about to say. But after you, Adam.
Yeah. So
we
what
had
I mean is
a bunch of times.
It's relevant to this conversation with simulation is that we're talking about, like, let's say for example, like if you do believe in like a simulation theory, that people jump to like the highest form of that, then like, oh, that must be God. Like if you're saying like, for example, say like, oh, I don't believe in coincidences, I mean, like, also that means you believe in God. It's like, no, that's too broad. Like there are like certain levels of this that like, hey, it might not be God, but it might be like a smarter being on top of that, and then eventually it gets up to where it is. But the question that we're asking is, either you want to have this conversation based on like the closest experience, or you want to look at it as the most broad experience, right. And that just depends on how you want to look at it.
Right.
Just a real quick, for the fans, the listeners, what is simulation theory exactly?
Simulation theory is like the theory that we live in a simulated world. Like kind of like the best way to compare it to is
like everything that happens is like
strategically.
Yes, that or like it's somebody doing it.
Okay.
Like things are happening for a reason, but not because of like, I guess, a spiritual sense. And also that like we're like we think that we moving on free will, but we probably like programmed to think that some type of way.
Just watch The Matrix. It's basically that.
Right. And he plugged the video I'm about to show you after this. He plugged that movie inside that video, and that shit gave me like mad insight.
I'll do you one better. Watch The Truman Show.
Yeah, that too.
Perfect.
That too.
Perfect.
But The Truman Show is just it was more about like controlling, like a society of people. Like I mean, control as a person's life, one person that you can control. The simulation theory is like, what if everybody is living like that?
Yeah, like not to
not just Truman.
Yeah.
Every person that is individually in that
is Truman.
It's
true. Yeah.
Right, but what I mean is like in the Truman Show, everybody around him are actors. Yeah. They're aware of like the truth of the truth.
Right.
But the simulation theory is like every one of us, every one of them, even the actors, they're Truman like themselves. So right. It's crazy. But yeah, Matrix, Truman Show, like there's been a lot of movies that like show.
Before I like I want to bring up, what did you mean by I'm not thinking about the bigger?
Well, when I said that, I meant
get a snack.
When I said that, I meant like from your description, you was like, I worked hard. I still haven't gotten hit by a car. I still haven't gotten. So it's making like a listener. If I don't know you and I'm listening to you, I'm thinking like you're describing your experiences, right?
But this is just no. I say I'm
I know you can only speak for yourself.
I'm speaking for people in general. Like my everything here is my perspective and your perspective, your perspective.
Yeah.
That's just my belief that like if you're here, it's not because somebody like hit a button and was like, alright, he gets to live today.
Yeah.
It's because the last 90 or so days, the last 9 years, you ate healthy. You happen to avoid conflict where it would put your life in jeopardy. You built some type of life around you where it kind of lowers your chances of dying from a heart attack. So all these things are factors of like, all right.
Preservation. So
I'm alive today because I kind of built my life around, and maybe I'm just not it's chances are that I could be here in a car. You know what I'm saying? It hasn't happened to me yet. That's why I'm here.
Okay.
That's what
okay, well, well, that's why I wanted to hear what he said.
Now, getting a little more in depth, everything is life. The solar system is life. The water is life. The earth itself is life. A mountain is life. Trees are life. So that's why I'm like, you're not looking at it from the grand scheme of things. Like the solar system, like planets, stars, these shits is life. Well, this shit is life. Like the black hole, every so often it spits out stars and planets and all kinds of stuff. So that is like, in a sense, a womb right there.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So that's what I meant, like.
And then you also said something earlier.
Nah, I hear that, but like, what's it have to do? Like, I get no, I get
now,
all that. But
now
like,
looking at that,
how's that like correlate to?
Now taking all of that
everyday
into consideration and looking at it from everything being life, like from that standpoint, what is the solar system doing to preserve itself? What is these planets doing self-consciously to, you know, preserve itself? Oh, an asteroid coming, let me step out the way. You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? Like, you see a car coming 90 miles an hour, you know not to go on that street. But
But that can also probably coincide with what I'm saying, because my whole thing is like with the, like, it's not God that's doing that. So what you just said, if the solar system is a living thing of itself, it's itself preserving itself, not God preserving it.
But what is it preserving itself from?
I don't
Anything
know what
detrimental?
could
Yeah,
harm
you
the
can't.
fucking
Well,
solar system.
you can't answer that.
I'm pretty sure
Anything detrimental.
Yeah, I'm pretty
That
sure
would-
it's terms
That would be the
that's out
applicable
there, like,
answer.
right.
Anything detrimental. That's what it's protecting
Yeah.
yourself.
So you did say this thing earlier too, when you said like you were aware of like the grand scheme of things, you just don't care to acknowledge it.
No,
He acknowledged it. It's just that he
you
went past
acknowledge
it.
it,
I didn't say I don't care, and he knows about my. He knows this about me.
Right.
Most times when I speak about something heavily, I already did a full calculation of everything. Everything he just said, I'm aware of. We have these conversations all the time, but I've taken those things, I put them in the back. Now I'm focusing on what needs to be focused right now. Not say I don't care about it.
Oh yeah.
I acknowledge it. I understand it. Alright, now I'm putting it behind,
Fine, yeah.
and I'm focusing on it.
Because like the one thing you did say, like because so basically it's about perspective at this point, right? But you said so you look at everything from your perspective in the sense that you're alive because you made good conscious decisions.
And I'm in good
yourself.
circumstances, like
Right.
like I said.
But then like for me, like if you were to ask me that question, I would look at it as the things that I can't control. Like why I'm alive, I've just been lucky.
Yeah,
because I could be doing everything that I can to self-preserve.
Circumstance, but
Yeah, but what I mean is, I could be doing all the things right now, and then somebody could decide, I'm going to shoot Adam in the face today.
Yeah.
Right.
They have more power over me living than I do.
Yeah.
So it's like, that's why it's like, okay, maybe chance might not be the best word for it, but I'm not alive because I eat vegetables. I'm alive because the circumstances that will lead to my death haven't happened. Like, you know?
Yeah, that's why I also mentioned the car thing. That's out of my control. Along with me eating healthy, that's just one part of me being alive. It's circumstances that I'm not, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's people that got randomly shot in parties. They had no control over that.
Yeah.
A bullet has no name. You know what I'm saying? It could just hit anybody. So that's to your point.
Yeah.
It's,
but that's what I'm saying. I rather attribute life to that part than the things that I do. Like, because I'm saying...
it's both. It's both.
It's both, but
Because you could die from AIDS from just fucking mad girl. That's you doing that. And you just
fuck. Tell me, bro.
Nah, I'm just saying.
Dominique loved talking about AIDS.
Does he really? This is the second time.
It's like the second time I brought it up in this whole podcast. In this whole podcast.
No, it's not. No, it's not. No, it's not.
I have not brought up AIDS.
You mentioned
in
AIDS
abundance.
like 10 times.
What?
Yes.
No.
You're talking to me. You're not talking to yourself.
No. Nah.
Alright, so I'm hearing
This
things.
is the second time I brought up this episode. Before this episode, it hasn't been brought up.
Alright.
I don't have AIDS. Like,
nobody said you had AIDS.
Make a fucking disclaimer now because this nigga.
Nah, okay, next episode we're all getting tested.
You can test it right now. Got the needles in the back.
So, what do y'all think about movies like The Matrix and
I love it.
Here's something that I think you would agree with.
I love it.
Yeah.
I think it's like it's almost like they're trying to tell you something, but in an entertainment value where you're least likely to believe it.
Yeah.
But there is some truth into what they're trying to
Yeah.
and then and I'm not saying just producers and directors and just regular people and stuff like that.
Right.
But I'm saying is just there are smarter people than us out there.
Yeah.
You know, just of the three of us, I'm probably the smartest right now.
Yeah, it's just like no, it's just with anything. It's gonna be people bigger than you, people stronger than you.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So that's how I feel about movies. That it's certain, like there's certain truths that are in it, even though, like I said, it's presented in a.
And I've been meaning to watch the Matrix over again, like. Just
with this new perspective of simulation theory.
Especially because I've seen it when I was younger.
Yeah.
But now I want to see it now because in part 1 they showed him in his regular life.
Yeah.
Before he got out
with the aliens and
of
robots and shit.
the Matrix, and then he realized like with the pills you wanna stay in your life and stay in the simulation.
For the past couple of days, you know what kept replaying in my mind, and I think this is for a reason. That part when he was in the train station at the end, and he finally like freed his mind, and he started like blocking the agent and all three of them, and he's like, and he put this one hand behind his back, and he's like,
type shit.
Ultra Instinct. Yeah. This is why I say Dragon Ball Z and Naruto be low key dropping gems, but 100%. People look at it as just an anime, just a cartoon. Just a cartoon.
Nah, this shit.
Nah. Major gems be dropped.
Yeah, man.
But what? Yeah. Before y'all go, I'm gonna say like this is what I take away from movies like The Matrix, I, Robot, Independence Day, all these movies. Like as a collective, what I see it as is that people, and then at the same time taking into account like our current technological
advances
era, and advances. AI, artificial intelligence. This is like what we're headed to. This is the future in a sense.
And what we're at right now.
Yeah. And it's basically to make you more accustomed to it. But at the same time we're like it's being encroached on you even more. Yeah. So as the media and just like the Matrix
in a sense too.
Just like the Matrix. We're being socialized from watching it, you know, hearing people talk about certain shit, the new iPhone, whatever. But at the same time, like new shit is being dropped. Oh, Siri's out. Oh, the Amazon shit is out to make everything easier for you to do around the house. Yeah. Oh, hey, Alexa, play some such and such. Yeah, Google Home, clean up the floor. Like now, there's less and less
independence.
Not only that, but it's less and less physical interaction and physical intervention within your home and within amongst yourselves.
Yeah, spirit. Yeah.
No, well, yourself, just like on a physical aspect. Mm-hmm. So when I see movies like The Matrix, and then I see ultimately the machines is the ones that's really like running shit because this is the real world.
Right.
It's like, why would we carry on with this technological advances when we see that this is where it's going? But then again, who wants it to get to that point?
Yeah.
And then iRobot just like that.
Yeah.
You mass produce the robots. Well, you first produce one robot, then you produce a little bit more, and you get people socialized. Oh, it could clean your house. It could drive you around. It could do this.
It's making us more dependent on them. Exactly. And so we can't fucking survive without them.
Exactly. Until we get to a point, where everyone is socially accepting of it, of this product, of artificial intelligence, regardless of if it's a phone or if it's an actual robot in your house, or if it's a car driving by itself. So the point is to get us to that point of vulnerability where we are socially accepting, and then it's like, we got him.
Yeah.
That's how I...
Yeah, because like in those movies, it's usually like the AI itself who's doing that.
That turns against,
But not even turns against, like the one that you're saying, like, oh, like he's trying to get people to like be accustomed to, like, it's the AI itself doing that. It wants you to be dependent on it. It wants you to do it, and then it just cuts off on you so that it can have its own.
But see, that's where I disagree, because from all these movies, the main thing, with the exclusion of iRobot, but then again, that's a duality in its own, because only one robot had an emotional attachment. not only an emotional attachment, but it has emotion.
Well, there were two of them. There were two, well, one robot, two AIs, because it was
it was the one in the center.
Vicky has emotions as well.
She's the one she was the one that made Sunny and then made the entire thing.
Oh, she made Sunny. She gave them the idea.
She basically because this is how the AI thing works, right? You built a super intelligent AI, and then you tell it to build everything else around it because it can compute things at way faster than you can.
Yeah.
So you build something that has enough intelligence where you can continue to grow, and then you give it the task to advance the technology because it can take it to new heights that you can't. Okay. So that's what happened with iRobot is, but Vic is the one that made it possible. But the thing about it is, she did that. The whole robot uprising thing, her justification for it was to preserve the human race. She said there are in order for this planet to go on, some of you must die.
And that was her to that. And I'm against depopulation, but
I'm not against it at all.
I always make jokes like we need a new plague. It's a lot of motherfuckers on this planet that's taking up space, but it's no way to weed out the bad ones. And that's where I disagree, because you can't take, you're bad, your morality is low, so let's kill you.
Well, that's what I mean is,
So I believe in the population in a sense, where it's a lot of y'all bad motherfuckers out here, bro.
Y'all really don't know how much landmass we have that's unoccupied. But keep going.
For good reason. Yeah. But
whenever you create an epicenter for advances, especially social and economical advances, a lot of people gonna gravitate. The gold rush, America, people are it's natural human instincts. You're gonna gravitate because we associate that with survival, flourishing, and prevailing, all of that.
That's true. Yeah, no, so that again, so like you said right now, if there was a human in charge of this, they would have a hard time coming up with a system in order to who dies and who lives. Yeah. Whereas a robot can just be I'm just gonna do it by the numbers.
Yeah, and who's the most sickest?
Just do it based on that.
Youngest.
They can calculate because that was one part of the first scene in iRobot when they were trying to say
Will Smith.
Yeah. He had a higher percentage to live than the girl did.
That's why she saved him.
Yeah, saved him instead of her. Mm-hmm. Whereas Will Smith looked at it in the other way that says, listen, that's a girl. That girl has a family, has a life. Mm-hmm. It's 14% is a chance. That's enough for me. I would go for her.
He was going from the emotional.
Yeah, exactly. Right. So that's why it's just that's why if humans were left to decide, we would never have the answer because we're too emotionally invested. Right or wrong, that's what happens to us. Whereas a robot will use numbers and percentages and come up with an idea. That's why as soon as
won't make the tough decision.
Google will make the tough decisions.
I disagree.
Well, you think humans will have the decision one day to find let's say
we're already making those decisions. Certain people are already making decisions. That's why we are having so many wars.
Yeah, well, white
people. But what I mean is
not only white people, but there's certain people with fucked up there's certain people who are legit cold-hearted.
No, I believe that. I believe that.
Yeah. So in the sense of human robot, I agree with the robot being less, emotionally attached and making logical decisions with no emotion, being taken into consideration. Yeah, of course. But in today's society,
some people
we got some humans that's operating from a robotic standpoint.
Right. But then the issue with that now is they can't act upon it in an efficient way. Whereas you're saying if war is a very inefficient way of I'd say as opposed to just making a decision.
It is.
Because
you have to utilize
so many
resources.
Right. Instead of just saying let's just kill this entire city over here and then it'll be easier to just do that. But because
it's ongoing, it'll
not
never
that we
end.
want that to happen.
I'm just saying, if we were to
clear up,
Dominique has
disclaimers
AIDS.
after Adam comments.
Niggas gave me AIDS this fucking episode.
Dominique has AIDS, so you gotta go first. He's the first.
And watch Abdalla make this into a clip on Instagram.
That's what.
Dominique has AIDS. And then Dominique talking about he has AIDS. Watch.
Listen,
I called it.
Listen, we doing it for the views.
And I'm gonna delete that shit on that podcast page.
And listen, we're only doing it for views, right? But because we want to be authentic, we're gonna need you to get AIDS. I don't want to lie to my followers, bro.
We're gonna need you to get AIDS. But look, before I just want to touch on something because this kind of coincides with what we're talking about in the sense of like where do things happen for a reason? Is it somebody is somebody making it happen? Because I used to always believe everything happens for a reason.
Yeah.
But then that kind of contradicts what I believe because it's like this was before my whole simulation theory. So if I'm saying everything happens for a reason, then who's making that happen? It's either the universe or God making that happen.
Right.
Then it's like it contradicts my theory of like things are just of circumstance. Like that happened to you because either it was a coincidence or circumstance. But I had a conversation with this girl, and we was talking about like this was like I think it was like right after me and you had a debate. It was not a debate. We was talking about it was right after the Queen's Flip episode podcast.
Oh, okay.
And I was mentally preparing for episode 2, which never came, but it's fine.
Yeah.
So we was talking, and she believes in God, and I wasn't going hard on her, but I was just like, "Why do you believe in God?" And like to understand, and she was giving me, and this is why I was like, I'm gonna be really prepared next time I go up, because no one could really give me his answer, and not even that God exists, is that I asked her why you believe in God, and then she gave me these bunch of examples of like things that happened to her, and then things got better because she started praising God. So she gave an example of like she was going to school, and then she was always get bullied, and like she was getting out of fights and shit. And then she said that once she started believing in God and praising God, she switched schools, and then her life got better. Me, I'm just like, maybe your life got better because you went to a different school that wasn't bullying you.
You're speaking logically.
Yeah, like I'm like, yeah.
Not just logically.
I get how you can think like, okay, I praise God. He moved to a better school. Maybe your mom found out you were getting bullied. She moved you to a different school, and that school had less bullies. And logically, you stopped getting bullied. It ain't because you praise God, because you move into a different circumstance. And I feel like that's a lot of things with people. They say like, I was doing drugs, and then I started praising God, and then now my life is better. I understand that believing in God could draw strength, but maybe you got better in life and you started going off drugs because you started, you probably went to rehab. You probably got a stronger mindset and like think that you want to actually live your life. And in the reaction, you started to, move off drugs, and now obviously you have a better life.
Yeah.
It's not because of God. It's because you start to put yourself in a better circumstance, mentally and physically. That's what's been my thing with people that say.
Yeah, same experience that I have with people too. And like I like how everything we're talking about is coming around full circle. Because again, I'm going to draw back to something that we said before. Well, when it pertains to things that are around you, like I'm saying, there are different levels. Like let's say like God is a level. God is the furthest level to you, as in terms of things that are around you and like what's controlling your life, right?
He gonna disagree.
I disagree.
And
No. Well, in a sense,
I would disagree from somebody who believes in God.
In a sense, or something. I'm not talking about. I'm not gonna say like farthest away by by involvement or by proximity. I'm not talking about it that way. I'm just saying like.
Okay, it sounds like proximity.
No, not proximity at all. Like I'm just saying like, for example, is it something that you are capable of doing yourself without God, or is it something that only God can do for you?
Right.
Moving schools is something you can just do yourself. God's if like I'm not gonna say like there's a motivation to God or something like that, but is He really gonna like use His divine power to transfer you to a different school? Like that's something you can do yourself, right?
Yeah.
So even if like how involved, if it does exist, how involved is it in your life where He's literally doing every little thing for you?
Right.
That's something you can just do yourself. Whereas like, because if that's the sense, then I really like don't believe He's that important. If it's just involved in certain things you can do yourself, then He's not as important as opposed to just like, okay, well, if people talk about miracles, like let's say a lightning strike right next to you, but it didn't hit you. That's something that's like, okay, well, if you believe in God, then that's something, okay, only God can do that for me. Like I couldn't have avoided that for myself. But if you're talking about certain things like, oh, I stopped doing drugs because of God, it's like, you can do that for yourself. And I would rather you do that for yourself. Like you have to make that, I would rather you come to that conclusion and decide. But not everyone's like that, And then also, so if you don't want to do it for yourself, then, people say do it for God. Like, what I'm saying is there are other levels that are around you. Maybe not do it for yourself, do it for your family. Do it for your kid.
I got okay.
Do it like there's steps you can take before you say like, okay, you know
ultimately
what? Ultimately, it's God. Like there are other things that you should consider first. Because then
move the mic to your mouth.
Because
like you're talking, making good points, and you're like sit down all the way down here. Like,
yeah. So it's just like that, you know. So it's like so just take into account the things that are possible for you first. Otherwise, there's no point for God to be in your life. Like if you know, but again, like the other sense is if you're using God as like an overall umbrella on like everything you do, that's fine. But also like give meaning to your decisions to those around, to people that are around you, people that are close to you.
I understand.
Like, start like that.
I understand. Like when I was younger, I didn't understand why people would, because for me it seemed far-fetched. I'm like, poof, the sun, poof. That's my
invisible
attitude.
Being created, all things that's visible.
Like logically it didn't make sense to me. But as I got older, I was saying like, okay, people are not seeing it that way. People are seeing it as, I think God could be anything that like propels like your mindset to a stronger sense where you can start like motivating you or start like making you push through tribulations. That could be God, that could be maybe a mother in your life, that could be, you know what I'm saying? You believe in this because it's something bigger than you, which draws a different part of you to like, maybe you seek morality from it, you know what I'm saying? And that could be anything. So when people like, when they like the arrogant what's it called, not Christians, the arrogant God believers, that's like, that happened to you because of God. Like praise God, praise Jesus Christ.
He died for us.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, I was like, all right, are you sure you believe in God, or you believe him because he pushed you through this? Which is kind of like if I only was your friend because you helped me get through some shit, that's kind of like,
I'm your God.
It's kind of like selfish. Kind of
like, are you really friends?
Like, I'm only fucking with you because you got me through this.
Yeah, exactly.
Not because
you know what I'm saying? You didn't fucking be before your life was great. Now your life is great. It just made me think, like, is God a being to you, or just he's just something that you can get help from? You know what I'm saying? That's just always a question to me.
Okay, so
it's not an attack on anybody.
There's a lot of great points y'all made. There's a lot of great points, and I see how one without certain knowledge would like y'all would eat them up straight up. Y'all would eat their ass up.
I'm not trying to eat anybody up.
No. I'm saying like your points are.
I'm like, all right.
I really don't like having this conversation with people.
Your points are really compelling.
Right.
It's just that I'm very strong with my knowledge, so I'm not like. That's why I was smiling and shit. I'm like, that's a great fucking point. Like, and all people could say is like,
I know him.
Well, they either quote a scripture,
right,
that man wrote, or they would give like a justifiable something that's good enough for them.
Life that it was unexplainable.
Give an example.
Something happened.
One time I was hungry, and God possessed this man to give me a sandwich. No, maybe the guy saw you fucking struggling, starving, and he'd be, you know. Yeah. But okay, so do y'all believe energy is real?
Energy explain energy. Yeah,
energy as in like,
you mean like positive energy, negative energy? Like things you just...
energy encompass all of that, like kinetic energy.
I believe in kinetic energy. I believe in like light energy, sound
energy.
Like it depends on what you mean.
Like that's what I'm saying. All of that encompass all of that. Okay. It's like energy, then it's like light, solar, water, all the elements.
I believe in those, but what the energy you're really talking about?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
We know these. Yeah. But what are you about to say?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, do I believe that like Dominique has a certain energy about him? Then I'll have to define what that is. Like,
God can be energy. That's where I'm ultimately getting at. God can be synonymous with energy. People like to. Our problem as humans, we like to classify things as beings or entities.
We like to materialize things.
Exactly. Yeah. So, how can you explain someone or something that created themselves and then created everything? How is that possible?
Yeah, It's no way to explain.
The human mind is very, very complex, and there's nothing on earth that like matches it in terms of like the speed and you know, breaking shit down. Mm-hmm. And, you know what I'm saying? So we have three minds collectively right now. I can't explain how something or someone could create themselves like, all right, I need a head. Okay, who is speaking? First of all, you see what I'm saying?
Yeah. So the only logical answer would be that it's the energy. That's the only.
That is my personal. I can't speak.
Okay.
I can't say that's logic.
I like this.
Yeah,
but God can be energy, right? Out of energy, a lot of shit can be formed, right? So with our problem is we like to chalk it up to, you know, attribute it to
it
this
needs to have
being.
A face,
it needs to be material.
And it's a place where he lives.
It needs to be a he. It's all patriarchal.
And also that he's always good.
Exactly.
That may not be true. He may be causing some shit.
Not even white people, because the Egyptians characterized God.
Oh, I ain't even catch you say that in my ear. White people, I ain't even catch that.
Yeah,
it's just kind of like
God as
at this point, it's just kind of like
as well.
At this point, it's just like one of those like inside jokes that we have about white people in every episode.
Yeah,
everything that goes wrong, white people.
Right.
But
some people would view it as, oh, they legit
racist
white people.
You got some racist.
But nah, I've caught, like, I would catch this shit and I would laugh. Like, but my thing is, like you said just now, you're trying to decipher his energy. When you first meet somebody,
I definitely do believe that there's certain things you feel about people by just looking at them.
Instincts is a form of energy.
Yeah.
All right, so like I understand what you're saying, and I agree with everything so far. Mm-hmm. But what I want to know now, is it conscious energy? When if God is energy, would you say it's a conscious energy, or is it just an energy that just does things without?
Well, I'll ask you this: do you believe in the law of attraction?
Yeah.
Do you believe the law of attraction is conscious energy?
No.
You don't?
That kind of contradicts the law of attraction.
Yeah.
Because the law is that when you do things that are good,
you think on a certain frequency,
that it attracts good to you.
Yeah, it attracts whatever is on that frequency to you.
Right.
To attract, that's like an action.
What I mean is, though, like, conscious means you can do...
At any time.
You can do it at any time. And conscious just means you can also contradict it. Law is when this happens, this happens.
2 + 2 = 4.
You cannot say, like, well... Because if it's conscious, this happens and you can stop it from happening because you can consciously make that decision. Whereas if it's a law, it's just that is a law. Like, that's what happens and you can't do anything about it. That's not conscious to me.
I agree to an extent again.
Right. Well,
that's because law of attraction, I've yet to meet one person who said law of attraction worked for them every single time. It has not worked for me every single time. Right. So obviously
But you think it may be working. Okay. It may be working. You just haven't issue yet.
Exactly. And that's why I said it's all about frequency. This is where frequency comes in. If you're doing, let's say you want to get a job, right? But you just want to be a couch potato. You're not in the right frequency of obtaining a job. Right. Applying is just one step. Mm-hmm. Maybe one step within that frequency, but it's just one step. So now you have to get all the essentials together. You have to put yourself... You have to be you have to be mental. You have to be. I want to use the word frequency in it, but you gotta be prepared, fully prepared.
Frequelize.
I wanted to say you have to be frequentially prepared.
I would have left the podcast.
That would have been a great fucking one. Fuck.
Well, you know what? Listen. Look.
You have to be frequentially prepared to then go out in the search of obtaining whatever you want, because now you have to get a suit and tie together. You have to be proper.
You gotta walk with your resume.
You
gotta have a good posture to you. You gotta put yourself forward.
And now you go and you meet that hiring manager, and from you walk into the door, like a lot of them said this, like I can tell
right away if this person is
now let's say I walk in like this, ripped pants,
jeans, a hat on,
sweater,
right?
All these stuff. It's like I think I'll go with this guy because he looks more prepared. You match that person's frequency, because before any of the applicants came to apply, they knew what they was looking for to fill that position that they have.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
But you know when that comes, like, well, my answer to that, for example, is just like, there's a lot of assumption to that. You might dress like that, you might be better qualified than that other person.
That's very true.
It's just, and also
perception.
Perception as well, and assumption. But then there's another part of it too, is like certain jobs, they the reason why they make the decisions based on energy and appearance and everything is because they've been through this. They've had people before. Like there is a history of like, okay, the person who's dressed like this historically, they're much better for this job than the person who dresses like this.
Yeah.
So it might not always be true, but there is a history, and like again, that goes back to the frequency thing. Like like oh God.
But see, this is
frequentially people who dress up and have.
But see, this is where it gets to level 2 because now let's say you came in dressed appropriately, and now Dominique came in dressed appropriately as well. But Dominique did his research on our company.
Right.
He knows
and he speaks
how much.
Weller. Is Weller a word?
Weller is definitely not a word.
See what you started?
Weller.
See what you started though? Now you got people making up words.
No. I don't know what the fuck that was. That definitely was not a word.
Speak Weller.
I mean, frequentially, it ain't no fucking better.
Frequentially sounds.
No, it doesn't.
No, it doesn't. Frequentially sounds
you
more
drag that
than
shit
a word.
from the bottom on it.
No. Frequentially sounds more like a word.
Weller sounds more like.
No, it doesn't.
No. Weller sounds. Which one sounds more far-fetched?
Frequentially?
They're both retarded. No. You know what's gonna be funny? We're gonna end this episode and find out that frequentially is a word, and we're all gonna be
exactly.
right.
And Weller.
No, that's.
It don't mean what I mean, but it's a word.
That's also true.
You never know.
Yeah, you never know.
Right.
Well, Weller is a well that has fresh water.
It could be like a description for somebody's job. Somebody takes water out of a well. It's a weller.
Yeah, you never know. But
I know more making up.
You can speak well, and all of that. Now you match the frequency even more because you're like, oh my God, like this guy's a perfect applicant. You see what I'm saying?
So they took the entrance as the first level, and then the second level is like there are different requirements now.
Exactly.
Like you need the first one, but the second one and it has to go on from there.
Because if that wasn't the case, then as soon as you walk in, you got the job. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
That's all I'm saying.
Right.
Well, I mean, like the reason why you went into this whole thing is like about like conscious versus like non-conscious.
Energy.
Yeah.
And what?
Of course.
And
I would say, in a sense, that God is conscious energy.
Well, that's what I wanted to define, because like
because if you think about it, the main reason I got on this is that when you match a person's energy, like whether it's good or bad, like if somebody's irate and you get irate and they see like in your eyes like the extent you're willing to go to, you negate all that shit that they was just talking. All that tough talk goes away.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Now, you match their energy. You match their frequency. You see what I'm saying? So, and that's just the negative aspect. Now, the positive aspect will be law of attraction. But that's why I said, not everything that you try to attract will always come to you, because maybe right now in your life, at this point in time that you're at right now, you're not prepared. And this is why you need to go through certain trials and tribulations.
Yeah. You're only at step 1. You're trying to get to step 4, but you're only at 1.
Like for me personally, I would say like one of my main trials and tribulations that I was facing was money management. We're not financially literate. So for me, how could conscious energy be like, all right, this guy, he's working hard, he got a podcast, he's doing all this positive shit, but he's pissing his money away. He's not ready, because if I give him $1 million contract, he's gonna blow it.
Yeah.
He's gonna be broke in less than a year. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. So a lot of people, we just need to meditate.
That does happen.
Exactly. But that could be for purposes.
But you can say that about anything,
how many people we seen went broke and then they regained and they stayed afloat?
Right.
It's for a purpose.
Yeah.
So you never know. My lesson, not everybody's purpose is the same. Not everybody's lesson is going to be the same.
But I also want to say this. You said that if God's an energy, it's a conscious energy. Alright, consciously. That means that he can consciously make bad decisions or consciously do bad things.
Well, consciously just means everything that you do, you can choose not to to or not to do it.
Yeah.
Unconscious just means you have no choice. Like it happens.
My question is, it's like, okay, there are a lot of good things that happen, right?
But
there's also a lot of bad things that happen because
drive by.
Yeah, if God's conscious, then yes, then
crack epidemic.
Well,
no. What about like what?
We have free will, and the belief of that, right? We have free will, so I'm not gonna just blame everything on.
Are you talking more about things you can't control, like cancer or like?
Nah, I'm talking about like free will, like
AIDS.
Like this nigga's wild. I
said those things on too.
Not conscious, like, okay, so yeah, like maybe like make it like a random fucking lightning bolt hits a car, or like and the person dies, or like a car crash where everybody dies except for the driver, and you know what I'm saying, like little shit like that, like shit that shouldn't have happened but it happened anyway. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I mean, I can't explain that.
Well, I know. Well, for the
I'm just asking, like, saying it's like conscious energy. Him. I'm still saying him as in God.
I know.
I'm
I
saying
get
him
what
or
you're
her,
saying.
but him, since conscious, that's his doing, in a sense.
It was allowed, yeah.
That's also a good word to use. Allowed. But the thing about
then, like, what's the purpose behind it? Like,
but see,
when you make conscious decisions, it gotta be a purpose behind it.
Not always, but there's like the car thing, for example. Though, like I don't think that's the best example because like in any car crash, the driver is always the safest one, because if they see a collision, what are they gonna do?
He's gonna protect his.
Yeah, he's gonna protect his side and turn the car to everybody else.
Yeah.
That's just him making a conscious decision to say, hey, fuck these. It might not even be. No. You know what? It might just be a reflex. It might even be conscious.
Yeah, right.
If you see it coming ahead, the first thing you can think of.
Anybody, self-preservation.
Self-preservation, yeah.
Anybody.
That doesn't mean he's happy about his decision. That doesn't mean he thought about it. Like, hey, like I can't. No, it's just the instinct at that point.
Right.
I think the only time self-preservation does not dominate is when a child, your biological child, or maybe just a child in general, is involved.
Especially with like mothers and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like that's an energy that I believe, the energy between mother and like
2 out of 2.
Yeah.
2 out of like 5 so far. I could deal with that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. That's an energy that I definitely believe is real.
But there's also like, I don't know, in terms of like allowed and not allowed, like, I get what you're saying. This is another thing with humans. We strive for
reasoning
and
when it could be no reasons.
Yeah, we need to be.
I'm doing this because it's 4 o'clock.
2 plus 2 has to be 4.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's this. Like, for example, purification. Every day, millions of cells in your body die because it just has to die. That's the law of your body. Like, these cells are old, they're damaged, they're weak.
It's a filtration system.
Exactly. Purification, I would say.
Yeah.
Because destruction would be cancerous.
Yeah.
Purification would be apoptosis, I believe it's called, when it's cell death, like natural cell death.
Mm-hmm.
I believe that's what it's called.
But you know, cancer is like, the funny thing, it's not funny. The thing about it is, you know, because your cells are always like growing and like replacing each other.
Yeah.
We naturally have cancer cells growing, and we have cells that's meant to kill those cells, in a sense.
Like I said, apoptosis is when it's natural cell death. It's when the cell don't die. Like, let's say I'm an inspector cell, and you guys are old or weak or whatever, and I kill Adam, like, I kill this cell, but it's like, okay, and I keep, scanning, and you just keep growing. That's cancer.
That's cancer. But what I'm saying is, like, your body has a system that stops cells from continuing to overgrow. Like, there is a certain amount that you need to have and a certain amount that you need to stay below and above. Cancer is when there is no way to stop that. It just continually grows. Like, it just makes more and more cells. Like, it just keeps going and going and going and going.
Well, I don't know about that.
That is what cancer is.
Yeah. I don't know about that. I gotta read that.
Yeah. Ain't that what I just said? Like, there's cancer cells in your body that grow, and when it gets too high, that means you're forming cancer. But there are cells in your body that's meant to destroy those cells so it doesn't get too high.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I wouldn't call it.
You didn't mention the cell. There are cells that are meant to.
Well, I mean, cancer is just
I forgot the name of it, but
cancer is every cell in your body. It's just every cell in your body. Like, that's why I wouldn't call it cancer cell. It's just a cell. The cell always, like, it I don't know what the process is called. Like it's just one.
So an abundance of white blood cells.
It turns into cancer? Like a cell starts into 1, separates into 2, separates into 4. Like it always does that. I'm saying there's a process I think that's the word is. There's a process that stops that from
occurring
from occurring too much.
Yeah.
Like there's
so it's your body doing that.
There's a body.
I don't know how to cut you off. Not trying to cut you off. Yeah. I read somewhere that it was cells that their job literally is to stop it from overflowing.
That might be true. So yeah, there is. But so once you don't have that system to stop it, whether it's a cell, like once you don't have that happen, that's what cancer is. It's every cell in your body that continues to grow without stop. Right. Simulation theory, guys.
Well, so, right. But you know what's crazy?
Because I read up on it. Yeah, like I read up on cancer, and it said like apoptosis. I believe apoptosis. It said this is like natural cell.
He frequently spelled that.
That's a fact. It's basically kind of like what y'all saying.
Also, we're not
natural cell death.
Yeah, we're not. Right now. The doctor's like, this guy's a fucking retarded. The real term is
because it's natural cell death. That's why I said like every day millions of your cells in your body die.
Say after 9 years, all the cells that are in our body today are all new.
Flushed out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it 9 or
9 years?
Okay. So basically, it's like when bad cells are not destroyed. Because he is right. It's cells that grow, form, and coagulate, and then it turns into tissue, and then it's like a cancerous tissue, and then it keeps like, it's like a gang now. It's like, oh, we the Crips, you a Crip, you this, you see what I'm saying? Yeah, and then that's when the cancer keeps
spreading.
That makes sense. No.
We're so black. He makes a Crip analogy. That makes sense.
No, what he's saying
I get it now.
When bad cells aren't flushed out, that's what like that makes
sense.
That's
what I was saying the whole time.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
It's instead of it going through the cell death process, it didn't die. So it's just it keeps infecting other cells, and that's how the cancer
But let's get off that.
Yeah, I was gonna say we're not experts on this. Let's not.
Let's talk. Back to the simulation theory that I wanted to touch on. The video that I seen, why it's been very intriguing to me, like this whole simulation shit. In the video that I seen, he drew up 2 examples, and I have one of my own.
Who's he?
The narrator in the video. I know his name. He sounded black though. I don't know his name though.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, not he hasn't God.
Well, if
what video are you talking about?
I sent it in the chat. You didn't watch the whole thing. I'm gonna send it to you again.
Oh, you talking about that? Okay.
Yeah. So he gave an example of like he believes in the theory of simulation because it seems like coincidences that seem to just happen seems almost calculated, as if somebody put them there. But he must be an atheist or agnostic because he would have just said God. He gave an example of like it was these 2 cars driving down this road for hours, right? And it's a video of it. Whereas one car going forward, one car coming the opposite way. It's a 2-lane road. And it's a car parked on the side of it. I guess they broke down, whatever, getting help. So the car that's coming towards the camera, all of a sudden it swerves out of, it's a long ass road. They've been driving for hours. He happens to swerve at that particular moment. Maybe he was drunk, maybe he was tired and dozed off. He happened at that moment, he hit the car driving forward. Well, he's going to hit the car, was going forward, and the car driving forward, it kind of swerved to the right. And it hit the only car that was parked there. Now that could have happened in any moment. Now the car that was parked, it was somebody in that car, and the person in that car died, right? So it just makes me think like that's a very particular, precise
situation. It could have happened at any point.
Any moment, but it happened at that time. It kind of seems like it was like somebody hit a button and was like, alright, make that happen. No. Right there. And then it happened.
So, well,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So here's think. So that's another.
I would say this before you continue. I would say it would only be coincidental if that person indeed like lost consciousness in a sense or like fell asleep or.
I mean, if it was on free will, then
if it was on free will, then no. Yeah, because
you're right.
Like
you're right.
There's assholes out there that would swerve and be like, "Oh, watch me make this person like run off the ditch." Swerve. And then like go back on because according to the thing, he didn't hit the oncoming car. He swerved the oncoming car, diverted, trying to
and then that caused the accident.
And that he happened to hit the
but we're just going with the assumption that maybe he was drunk, because like who in their right mind would do that? But there are folks that do that.
Happened. If it was drunk, if it was just happened to fall asleep at that particular time,
it's but here's another way of looking at that too. Like that's again goes back to what we say about like us as humans need to give like meaning to everything.
Yeah.
There are like accidents like happening where no one's around. Nobody gets hurt. Nothing. Like I'm saying, like accidents, like stuff, like a tree just fell right now.
I'll be falling in my bathtub sometimes.
No, I'm just talking about like
floor be slippery.
Let's say like an abandoned building right now just falls. Didn't fall on anybody. Didn't fall on any dog. Didn't fall on anything.
How did it just fall though? It happened.
No, I'm saying it's like an old building. Like and it fell.
Okay.
But what I'm saying is if the simulation theory is true.
No, but that's not a simulation though, because there are things building up to that. It's a reason why that happened.
Right, but again,
bad foundation.
If just like Abdalla said, there's a reason why that car swerved the road. A bad person. You can give it an explanation. What I mean is, if the simulation theory is true, why would someone make something fall where no one's around, nothing? Like, what's the point of that?
Right.
Like, if that's happening where no one's around to see it, like,
right.
like, or like because then. Accidents could only happen when people are around, because if I was simulating like an accident, I would do it where there's something.
No,
again, but then that
goes along the theory of like the tree fell in the middle of the forest.
No way.
Did it fall because you didn't hear it, or did it fall?
No,
because
I'm not saying. I'm not saying we're not.
You didn't hear it, but it still fell.
No, Dominique, what I'm saying is if somebody.
Oh shit! Government name. Oh shit!
Oh! You know his middle name? Yes. Please. You gotta blank that out.
But you gotta cut out the video. You got to.
I got you.
I know we can do it.
I got you. I know I can do it. I know I can do it.
Come on, come on, man. We're not doing that.
SSN number 8.
We are not doing that. But continue. I'm cutting that up.
I'm saying is, if the simulation theory is true, and what you're saying, so basically, if the simulation theory is true, there's somebody out there that's controlling everything that's happening, right?
Oh, multiple. I'm not saying this true. It's just
intriguing. Right. Like if
multiple people.
Let's have
that has like, all right, we're gonna do this to this. You know,
let's move it so let's move on with so let's have this conversation as if it's true.
Oh, I got a great point. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, let's have this conversation as if it's true. So what you're saying is like that those two cars that are going across each other, somebody pressed the button at the exact moment in order for it to swerve,
and then it caused that person.
So that means that. Coincidence doesn't exist. Everything happens because somebody's doing something to it.
Right.
Everything is interconnected.
So how would you justify something happening somewhere where there is like
when nobody?
So who's pressing
no death or no harm
who's pressing a button to make something fall that doesn't cause anything? Like
I mean, that's in the sense of like even I do things like maybe. Like, you ever just been somewhere and then, like, you're just spinning a coin for no reason, like, you just spin it.
And you just, like, killed an ant or something?
No, like, there's really no joy of doing that. You're just doing it because you're bored.
Right.
Or you just want to see how many times you can spin before it falls down. Like, it just be anything. Like, I've done plenty of things when I'm bored. I'm flicking my thumbs, I'm rubbing my ear. It gives me no pleasure. I'm just doing it because I'm doing it. There's really nothing to it.
Okay, I have a question. The scenario with the car swerving and then car number 2 hitting and killing the person in car number 3.
Mm-hmm.
Is this situation, would y'all label that as a accident?
Well, yeah, it's an accident. Like,
I mean, it's an accident from our perspective. Okay. But if you believe in like someone's doing it, it could be.
No, because I want to go back to a point that y'all mentioned. Is it only an accident if humans are involved?
Right.
Because I'm getting to something.
No, is it? No,
what you mean, like if a tree just falls down in the middle of the forest and then that's another tree and just causes?
Or just a tree just
fell.
Would
you call that an accident? I would.
I mean,
yeah,
because
it doesn't have to.
My thing is
it an accident?
My thing is. Well,
maybe the foundation was too old and it was leaning too
old. Right.
No. Happened to do that.
You keep going back to this old decrepit trees and houses and
buildings.
What I'm getting to is
it's a reason.
No. Because the first time y'all mentioned it, y'all said if someone knocks a tree down in the forest, is it an accident? That was the first time y'all said someone, so it's a person. So now I would classify that as an accident because I would only say something is an accident if it's a person doing it. Animals, I would put them in a class by themselves.
No.
Why?
Why is the tree an accident though?
If someone chopped down a tree in a forest, I would view that as an accident. Now, there's different levels to these
You mean
words.
if it hits somebody and it kills them?
The tree just fell.
But he's chopping it. It's on purpose.
I know. This is what I'm getting. This is what I'm getting to. It's not a contradiction. Because how I view it, this is why I said it's different level, like with the frequency word. You chopping that tree down, you're disturbing that ecosystem. You're disturbing the animals who inhabit that ecosystem. It could be a bird's nest there. So this is why I was saying before, everything is life. All life is interconnected.
I mean, the trees.
You see what I'm saying? Karma is applicable to all life. You could kill animals all you want. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, some people are just like gung ho with that shit. Like, for example, it could be a hunter in Minnesota. He shot $100 throughout over the course of his life, and then somebody just walk up to him in Times Square, bang. You see what I'm saying? Now you're the buck, and I took your head. I took your head for a crown. You see what I'm saying? Everything is interconnected. So this is why I said I would only consider it I would only classify it as an accident if a human being caused the act. I disregard it if it's an animal causing the act because they're acting out of self-preservation and instinct. We're acting out of free will. We're the most intellectual animals / mammals. We are mammals, yeah, but we are also animals. Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, nah.
So
that's interesting.
We're doing this out of our own self-preservation or just out of
fuck it.
Fuck it mentality.
Yeah. Well, that's why I said we went to. Got to give your definition of an accident because I wouldn't have used that word to describe what you just said right now. Mm-hmm. But yes, what you were saying is true. What I'm saying now is.
So you agree with me?
I'm good with you.
Everything I said?
Everything you said.
Like, shit. 3 out of 5.
So, I mean, I was like...
But then you just to clarify, you said that a tree falling down by itself will be an accident.
Well,
no.
I said that would not be an accident.
No.
Okay.
So,
okay.
Because, like, I'm thinking, like, we're thinking accident, like, definition, right? Like, was it an accident? Like you said, a person pressing the button to make those two cars go together. Would you call that an accident? The answer is yes, we do. Like, for example, a car accident, right?
Assuming that we don't believe
depending
that
on the perspective that you're
because if I believe that somebody
if you're
did
the
that,
perpetrator,
then it's
this
not
an accident.
Well, what I mean is, like, for example, like, let's talk about an accident that's happening outside right now. 2 cars hit each other, but one of them did it on purpose. We would call it a car accident just happened, or
because
a car crash.
that's terminology.
That's what I mean, terminology. That's why
yeah.
he explained
but it's not reality.
What accident means to him. So I just want to know what accident means to you. Like, and you're saying is
an accident
if it's not deliberate. If it's not on purpose.
Assuming, okay, we're just going to discount the simulation there right now.
Right.
Assuming that an accident to me is something that you may have did that you didn't intend to do.
Right.
You didn't have no intentions behind it. It just, like
100%.
Right. I went to grab your hat or some shit, and I knocked over the thing, and it spilled in my
I was at the bar
laptop.
drinking. I thought I can operate my vehicle, but I fell asleep, or I caused an accident.
Right.
These are accidents.
Okay.
Yeah. But I also, like, it also goes into, like, with the whole simulation thing. Mm-hmm. Like, he gave another account, like I said before we started recording, of, like, it was a married couple, right?
Yeah.
And this is what really make people think. Married couple, they're looking at pictures of themselves as kids or whatever, and they both went to Disneyland when they were young, right? They both took photos, and in each of their photos, the other person is in the background. So it's like
the other person being the spouse. Like,
the spouse. So it's like at the same day, same moment, same fucking perimeter. Y'all each took a picture, and your future husband or wife was in the background of that photo.
Also taking a picture.
And you had to have the same angle to have them in the picture.
No, you need to have opposing angles so they're in each other's picture.
Yeah, so it's just like, shit like that makes me just think, like, I say I believe, it makes me think, like, that really seems calculated. Like, it seemed like something made that happen. Because what's the fucking odds? First of all, the odds of you getting married is low. like, you know what I'm saying? Then the odds of you even being in the same place with somebody you know in the future. And then even going lower, the odds of you even in the same place or somebody you know in the future taking a picture at the same time.
But see,
in the same area.
But see, you also gotta look at this too. You gotta take this into consideration. What is it called? The law of. It's like every person you meet. Damn. It's like, for example, when people say, "Oh, it's really a small world," because you may know somebody that may know somebody.
Right.
It's like Hansel had used it. Shout out to Hansel.
Shout out to Hansel.
I'm not gonna say it. Nigga still has no PS4, so.
He has said it's like the law of
the degree of separation.
Degree of separation, yeah. It's like everybody you know. It's like 4 people.
I think we're at
away from no one.
I think we're at 6 right now. Like
okay.
6.
Yeah, especially with social media and shit.
Now, with billions of people, India and China got like 10 billion collectively alone. All these people on the planet. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Is it really coincidental? Or is it just the people that you associate yourselves with, the circles that you are socialized with? You see what I'm saying? If I'm hanging out with Asians all fucking day, I guarantee them niggas don't know y'all. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's like, is it coincidental?
I mean, I think that situation was.
Because,
I understand what you're saying, though.
Because the status quo do apply to a lot of people, whether it's knowingly or unknowingly. Like, buy this type of car because you know it saves good on gas. Oh, if this is an upper middle class neighborhood. Like if you ever looked at pictures of like certain gated communities or certain middle class, high class neighborhoods, your lawn has to be cut a certain height.
Yeah.
Or the neighbors will tell on you.
Now there's certain standards
like you need
like your white fence can't be too tall. It can't be
too white.
Yeah. Has a certain certain perimeter. Yeah, it's rules and regulations.
You can't make a certain amount of noise. So when you're accustomed or you're socialized to be operating on a certain frequency, it is certain.
Is that the title of the episode?
It is.
Yeah.
It is to a certain. It is to a certain extent. I think it's safe to say that it's to a certain extent that your life do indeed becomes.
A part of somebody else's.
No, predictable. To an extent.
Yeah.
Because you have now accustomed and associated yourself to this norm.
Yeah.
That you're taught your society is.
So you can you can like accurately to some percentage you can accurately predict how the life of like a drug addictor would go. Because you've seen that, you know that pattern before, so you can say with that.
And that's what like the compound effect. That's what tendencies.
So here's what I have to say, and I think you're gonna want to hear this. I think remember when you said Dominique is making progress when it comes to spirituality and all that stuff. I think he is too. I think he just doesn't realize it right now, right?
Yeah.
And it might just. I'll explain that, right? So you know how
progression towards what? Because I think it's maturity. My mindset
progression towards
more,
God
is more.
Relation towards God.
Nah.
So let me tell you, right?
Nah.
So you know how the simulation, because the way that we haven't talked about the entire video or like how you're experiencing it, but right now you seem to be fixated on the whole coincidence thing. Like things are happening a little bit too close.
Yeah, like a little bit too precise.
A little bit too precise.
Like, why is that?
You know the simulation seems a lot more than just that. It's a lot more than just that.
Yeah, it is.
Because the way it seems now is you read one video of one guy's perspective on it, you liked it, and you stuck with it.
Well, I watched multiple, but this is the most
So this is the
relatable that I could
I
can bring up. Yeah.
So what I'm saying is there's other components of the simulation theory where they're saying like how it's possible through like examples, through technology, through all this stuff. Because like right now, like I say, like we're creating simulated worlds already through video games and stuff like that. We're doing it because we have the technology and we can. So we want to see where we can take it, right? Yeah. So in that sense of the simulation theory, there doesn't need to be someone calculating every single thing. They're just making a world because they're capable of doing it. They have the technology.
Then it's running on its own.
And it's running on its own.
I mean, that's what simulation is.
Right.
It's simulated.
But the fact that you're fixated on this one thing.
Yeah.
Right. So it's just this one thing now where it's like you're saying like coincidences are a little bit too close. Even in the simulated world, coincidences can still happen because you're not in control of everything.
No, they can't. It's
and
very small.
The reason why is I think you're kind of also like people who want to attribute everything to a meaning. Like you can't just accept that things can happen sometimes. And what happens is people would usually attribute that to a god. You're accepting or at least you're trying to accept every other possibility except God. But you want there to be a meaning for a coincidence. You want there to be.
It's only like the past 2 weeks that I discovered simulation theory.
That's what I mean. It's
like literally my whole life I just been like,
that's why I was
like, it's the last 2 weeks I've been intrigued by it.
Right. But you
I just
realize
believe that things happen by circumstance.
Right.
And I do believe that there can be coincidences.
All right,
but I also believe that I'm not discounting 100%. Even with God, I'm not discounting. That's why I'm agnostic. I'm not atheist.
Right.
I'm not discounting 100% there can't be a God. There could 100% be a God. I just don't believe there is. Right. And if there is, I'm not gonna be like, oh my God, I'm like, all right, that's cool, that's great. Now I can have something to talk about.
Because then that now means you have like an aversion to God. Because what you're saying is, whether it's true or not, that has nothing to do with you. It's like you have something personal against him. Because what I mean is against God. Yeah, that's what it sounds like if it existed. Because what I mean is like, people have lives without God right now, and they're able to do whatever they want.
Yeah, right.
But if they find out one day that definitely God does exist, it would change a lot of people's lives. It would change the way they live. It would change everything. You're saying it wouldn't at all. You're saying that you'd still. It sounds personal.
That's ignorant for me to say that if I found out God does,
and you would.
It's ignorant to say that it wouldn't affect my life because it for sure was. That was arrogant for me to say.
Right, that's why.
And I admit that. But if I found out right now that God was real and in some shape, way, or form, He showed Himself to the world or to me specifically, and maybe I've heard speak something. I don't know. It had happened. I don't know how it would affect my life.
I would rather use
in a material.
Yeah.
But as far as perspective, it would for sure.
Right. Well, that's what
I don't mean I'll be going around. Hey, I believe in God now.
Right.
Like trying to convert people and shit.
It would change. Like I'm saying right now is you're dangerously following the same pattern that God believers are. That there's certain things that they don't understand dangerously because there are certain things that they don't understand about the world, and they want to give it a meaning. Except them, they're leaping a little bit further than you are. They're leaping towards something that. That they're not, but what you're doing is like, you're looking at something you're looking for a reason, like a little bit closer than they are. You're looking for a reason. But the reason why I say like, I think it's maybe because you're just hanging out with Abdalla too much. But, but it's like,
I don't even speak about God that much.
Yeah, we don't. Yeah, we barely hang out. But it's gonna hang out more, but there's a time we hang out every fucking Wednesday.
I'm glad I could be a part of this, y'all.
Yeah, you should be honored, nigga.
Yeah, though
I want to say something though.
Right, yeah. So like, just closing thoughts, right?
Like fuck up.
It's like that. I'm gonna tell you a story.
If I was on his hand, I'd be like, yeah, he's making a lot of sense, but it's going on like 20.
Right.
No, not even.
So like, closing thoughts is.
I'm enjoying it.
The reason why I brought this up is because of the words that you choose to use. The words you choose to use say a lot about like you as a person, whatever. Because once I urged you, like once I engaged you into this like perspective of the conversation, you chose your words differently. Now you're saying, you know what? Now you're saying words like I don't know. Now you're saying words like maybe, whereas before.
Nah, the first minute of the episode, I said I'm agnostic. I don't know if.
No, I'm not talking about God. I'm talking about the simulation theory.
Oh.
When you brought it up.
It's like more definitive.
Right. It's like your perspective was like so fixated on what this person in this video was saying. But now that it's intriguing. But now that we talk more about it, now your perspective is coming into it,
and that's the beauty of your brain.
Yeah, now
you keep running.
Yeah, that's natural. Like I'm not doing that consciously. That's just
I know. Right.
Like that's why
I watch this video in the comfort of my home.
This is why AI could never replace us.
With my mindset, my thinking, my perspective, and then I'm around two brothers who gonna expand. It's only natural that's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Now you're right. I mean.
Just watch more.
I probably didn't realize it, but I am probably like thinking of more things.
For example, like if the simulation theory was exposed to you from a different video, you probably wouldn't have been this like excited about it until you seen this exact one. Like everybody has.
I mean, he touched on more things that I didn't speak. He spoke about like how it seems mathematically
right, and that's how
calculated and like how Just like a whole bunch of things he mentioned. Just I have the memory. I can't remember.
And that's how I got introduced into the simulation theories. Like all the other, like the math involved into it, like the likeness involved into it, and
like snowflakes are perfectly fucking made and shit. Like they either have 3 or 6 sides, and they like, you know, things. What's it called? Start with a K. The little scopes you look into, you turn it. Yeah, kaleidoscope. Those like perfectly, equally measured. That's how snowflakes are. So it's like, why are snowflakes made like that?
Well, see, that can be indeed like
a creation.
Man-made.
Snowflakes?
Yeah.
I mean, I know we had the heart machines, but we're talking about like snow, like every snowflake ever created.
Well, where are snowflakes found? This is why.
From the sky.
No.
God.
They fall down, right?
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not asking where they're from. Where they found.
On the ground.
I mean, the
problem with a lot of humans is we don't ask the right questions. We ask a lot of questions, but we don't ask the right questions. Now, the first question I would ask
every snowflake is made, man-made?
No, I'm saying it could be. I'm saying if something is always perfect,
I'm saying
that's impossible.
Then that's what makes me think it could be man-made, and it could be
nature. Well, nature that's different, but
nature. There are things that
nature could be
perfect.
Nature,
I want to say perfect.
Consistent. Nature can be consistent in what it makes. So you can always make something the same.
If it's always perfect though, that's not consistent. That's not consistent.
You know, it's not.
That's 100% like
right
that's,
all the time.
Yeah, that's repetitive. That's frequential.
You could be consistent like for like a month and then fall off.
But what I was gonna say is
yeah, but if it's always perfect, then
what I was gonna say was, like I said before. The problem with a lot of people, it's not that we don't ask questions, it's we do ask a lot of questions, but we don't ask the right questions. Now, what I would ask is first, where are snowflakes found? Now, if you tell me only in North America, I'll be like, what's the difference between North American? I'm saying, we don't know. We don't know. I would ask, because it snows in Japan, it snows in certain parts of Africa, it snows in certain parts of Asia.
Those are buildups of snowflakes.
Okay, so a snowflake is like a...
It's like a singular...
Nano snow, basically, that makes up the...
Yeah, like snow on the ground? Yeah.
Oh, so that's a... Okay, so
you knew that, right?
No, I didn't know that. I thought snow... No, I'm dead ass. I didn't know that.
You know that
I thought snowflake was like something different. Like
Nah.
Like when I see the snowflakes,
Nah.
Yeah, you wouldn't be able to find one that's like this.
Yeah, when I see the snowflake, like
the symbol,
picture or symbol, I thought it was like, all right, so snow be falling and then hey, a snowflake. Okay, and snow. So hey, it's another snowflake.
No.
Like I thought it was like a shooting
star.
That,
right?
I thought like a shooting star. I'm Guyanese. We don't have snow in Guyana. So
that's
my difference. That's my difference. But I would have to.
TVs.
But then it still goes with my point. Like, where are snowflakes found? Because how many people have telescopes that actually test the snow?
Right.
Now Damaris, if the same snow that wasn't melting, if she had a telescope and put it under this and see
would it
that
be a snowflake?
It wasn't snowflake or it is snowflake, then we know that we can tell when we're being manipulated to a certain extent by the snowstorms or just snow.
But then you have to ask, like, it's a reason why they make fake snow, to make an illusion, and it's a reason why they depopulate certain things and put things. But like, if somebody was creating fake snowflakes, flakes, what would be the point of that?
Exactly.
That's something to me.
And that goes with what you said. Like me personally, I'm always looking for like, why are you doing that?
Why?
Exactly. I understand. Some people just do shit just to do it.
Yeah.
Like, I'll be home one day. I don't watch porn.
Yeah.
It's just random.
The main things is who, what, where, why, how.
Well, like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Where are snowflakes found? How often is it found? How often are we finding this when it snows?
But how's it made?
Why is it being, coming
for a lot of people, the why is the most important.
Yeah.
Right. Why?
What? And who's doing it?
What is going on?
Yeah. But what I wanted to touch on was y'all had spoke on some shit.
You want to bring something up before you do that?
Huh?
You gonna forget your point? Because I've been thinking about something.
I'm thinking right now. Go ahead. Damn. Y'all was talking about
the way you said that I'm always searching for like a reason.
That's what I got.
And you're right. Most things I'm always thinking like, why is that? Why it happened? What's the purpose of that? It's like one time I was leaving my house to go to work, and I stepped outside my house. I said, "Oh shit, I forgot something." I walked back in my house, got it real quick, walked outside. Soon as my foot touched the street off the sidewalk, a car ran the red light, full speed, right? And then he ran the other light right in front of me. So it makes me think that I'm 100% sure that if I didn't go back for those few seconds to get whatever I left at my house, I would have been in the middle of the street because I seen red. I seen red. Usually when I see red, I walk. Right, I walk. If I didn't do that, I would have been in the middle of the street. I most likely 100% would have got hit. I probably wouldn't be here right now. So this makes me think like, I don't usually leave shit in the house. I just don't. I check wallet, keys, phone, man bag. I'm out. You know what I'm saying? My chapstick, I'm good.
Yeah.
Portable charger, I check. Why at that moment, the one day, and since that day, I haven't seen a car run a red light like that at the same street. Why that one day I happen to go back and forget something?
You know what all that means to me? Is that same thing like when he was bringing up the frequency thing. If it only happened once in my entire life, I would just say it's coincidence.
Yeah.
But the thing I would say is
that kind of contradicts what I'm saying. Right.
But because like, if you're saying like this is the one time that happened.
What two things that happened once that I've seen
if
happen,
it happens,
that makes me think.
So now to me now is where I would agree with you in this sense is not just things like you avoided something major. Like when you avoided something minor, something like that you might not even be aware of.
Right. Yeah. This happened. I probably even noticed it.
Yeah.
This was something.
But where I agree on that is there are certain times when, like I said, like I try to leave my house at certain times or whatever, but like it doesn't always go according to plan.
Right.
But every time, if like it just seems that if my life always ran according to plan, I always catch the same bus or whatever, I would never I would avoid seeing so many things. Like what I mean is like the day that I do miss the bus is when I run into somebody that I haven't known in a while.
Right.
The day that I do miss the bus is when like I catch like something like something that I wouldn't have seen if I had always been in the same place.
Yeah.
That's because it always happens like every time it's frequency. That's why I believe in simulation, because it's continuing to happen. So it's like, okay, then there has to be someone who's there is something that's continuously causing this.
Right.
If it's frequency. But if it's just something that happened once and whatever
that I'm aware of,
that you're aware of, that's another point.
There's times that I made to the other side of the street and a car ran the red light behind me,
and you didn't see it.
I didn't see it.
But I mean, like, yeah, for example, like let's say there is like somebody who's in charge of Dominique, the person right now, right? Simulating his life and wants him to live.
We've been doing pretty good. Like, my life's pretty good.
So it could be doing all these. It could be doing all these things to stop you from like getting hit by certain things. It could be stopping you from like running up to a building that's like fire, like a lot of things, and most of it you're not aware of. That's just that one time you saw something and you're like, which is in this sense, it's not the wrong thing to do, to question it, to try to find. So that's not the wrong thing to do. At some point you would want to know, like, hey, if I become more aware of my surroundings, is this happening to me?
And there's been other situations where that has happened, where like I dodged like a bullet in a sense, not like a bullet, but like I can't remember it.
Who's gonna shoot that?
But no, but it's been times where like me, my friend, my best friend Chen, my boy Hansel, who's her boyfriend, what was it, Brian and Alan. We was in Miami. We took a trip to Miami. We was in Mango. We was partying, and we partied the whole night. The shit was great. We left like around 3 a.m. Something just like all at the same time. Something told we said we was in the party. We said, you know what? It's time to go.
Yeah.
We all said at the same time. Alright, it's going. We found it the next day on the news, like 15 minutes after we left, a big ass shootout happened outside that same club. So this makes us think, like, why at the same time, all of us collectively looked at it, was like, yeah, it's about the time. You know what I'm saying? And we left, and then right after this, who knows, we could have just been partying.
Yeah.
And we got right at the same time, and one of us got hit. Who knows?
Yeah.
Shit like that, me like, why?
Right. So
why are we so lucky?
So what I would say now is just like, what I would do in that situation, me being me, as I would start to be a little bit more aware of myself and try to understand what the pattern is. and try to see if there is a pattern.
Yeah.
Try to understand if there are things that are happening that's like specifically like preserving me that I'm unaware of.
Right.
And that's what I would do. So far, like I haven't done that, but so far I'm gonna try to see.
Now I am, cause like I said before, my life is pretty. I got the most perfect life. I'm not rich. I'm rich in spirit. That's what I enjoy more.
Yeah.
It sounds mad cliche. I'm rich in spirit. You know what I'm saying? But the real truth, like
you paid for your college tuition with spirit. Yo, buy me a plane ticket, bro.
But it's like spirit. Me and my coworkers had this talk the other day, and we was talking about, and I was arguing that money doesn't inherently make you happier. It can make you happy, but it doesn't inherently. Like if you're depressed and you gain a lot of money, like large amount of money, you won't just automatically switch. I'm happy now. Yeah. It doesn't inherently. It can. So
it can give you the things that it can give you the things that make you happy.
I believe that money brings you excitement. It doesn't bring you happiness. It doesn't fulfill you with happiness. It brings you excitement, and then with those things, you can find happiness that can.
I agree.
Like prolong itself, but it brings you excitement. Like, okay, I have my new car. Like me in my life right now. Like I said, I don't have everything, but I have like. I know the feeling of when I got some nice kicks. So I got my PS4 for the first time. I got my Switch. Yeah. These are luxuries that when I first got, I was like, oh my God, I got this shit. Wow, I've been waiting for a while, now I got it.
After like 2 months,
after I'm just like,
it's even 2 months.
It's like a week. It's just like, all right, now I have it.
Yeah. So what? Like now I have it.
Now I have it. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It's like you get an attractive girl. She's fucking bad. Yeah. But when you get to know her, it's like, all right, now what's next?
Yeah, exactly.
So money doesn't really bring you. It brings you excitement in the moment. But I was saying like, with the preserving thing, my life isn't the best, but I've gotten pretty in the sense of the word, I've gotten pretty lucky. I haven't dealt with much death. Not much friends I have went to jail. Yeah. Not much of my family is sick. I'm pretty healthy.
So I feel like you've changed your answer from the question that was asked of you in the beginning.
Which is
you said
what?
Like, oh, why are you still alive? Now it's no longer about you. It's because there's
no.
Like, if this was true,
it's parts of it. Though. It's part.
But at this point now,
I always said it's a mixture. Yeah. It's circumstance. It could be somebody. It could be God, or it could be me. It's a mixture. The top two, the God and simulation. I don't know that's true, but for what I can control, I think I'm doing a good part of me preserving. Plus, I don't go to parties. I don't hang with people that's in gang. These are all factors that could put you in circumstances where you can die. Nigga. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't go out with niggas that drink and drive. I would take an Uber. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I'm preserving myself. You feel me? That's just my point to the matter.
I still ain't remember what the hell I was thinking.
Damn.
Yeah, bro.
It was a good
ass
ass
talking for
Frequencially? No. Oh. It was a good ass point. Shit. But
I don't even feel like we haven't talked about simulation theory at all. Probably said like 2 things about it, and the rest of the episode was about other shit.
No, we touched on it.
We haven't gotten into space. We haven't gotten into.
I still want to talk about.
Yo, I ain't gonna lie. I kind of wish that we watched the video beforehand. But
yeah, that kind of feels like it would make sense, right?
Yeah, but nah, it's cool.
Yeah, but
the video you talking about?
Yeah, I'm so glad you brought up space. This was one of my biggest parts when it comes to like me not believing in God. When I was younger, when I was more arrogant, people would say, okay, you think it's just a coincidence that God is perfectly placed in orbit, it perfectly placed in a spot where the sun would hit it, where it could preserve our life. It's the perfect amount of sun. It's enough to make us alive, and trees grow, and not burn us. All these things are perfectly put in place. You think that's just by coincidence? No, God did that. But I always was just like, and it's kind of, it may contradict the simulation thing, but I always believed that if there was a planet that wasn't perfectly placed, there will be nobody to say, well, hey, look, it was perfectly placed, but we'll all be fucking dead. The only reason why we're able to even have a conversation on why it's perfectly placed is because it's perfectly placed.
For us.
And for us. And that could happen through God, or that could happen just, all these other planets died out. We was the ones that finally got it right. By chance. By coincidence. By circumstance.
And there could still be other planets that are like that right now. We just
right.
don't know.
Right. I don't think it's
just
because somebody
just
made it that. It's just
from the
it was
sun
like
that's suitable for their existence.
But yeah,
it was like error. Finally got it right.
Right. So if we're talking,
that's how I feel.
So if we're talking about, and now we're just talking. Now I'm just asking this like through motivation of God, for example. So like you said, we have what 8, 9 planets in our solar system. It always changes whether Pluto is the planet or not.
Pluto,
Pluto,
laughing.
It's a star. It's a planet.
Yeah,
it's a rock. It's an asteroid.
Yeah. So it's just like, if He's the creator of all the things, like the universe and everything and all that stuff. Why is life like concentrated in this one planet? Couldn't he like make another life that's suitable on another planet? That's another planet. I mean, you wouldn't be able to answer this question. I wouldn't be able to answer this question.
I'm pretty sure there is no life out there.
Yeah, but I mean, it's not just out there. What about just right now? Like, why isn't there life on? Why couldn't God just be like, you know what? I like this human project.
And we know of it.
But let me like Mars, for example. Like I said, couldn't there be possible that God is like, you know what? I'm tired. Like, I like this human project, but let me make another life like right here on this planet? On Mars, not just on another planet elsewhere. Yeah. Somewhere that's like right here. Why is it this is the only planet that has life? If life was created by a person, why is it's fixated on this one thing?
Well, maybe Mars has its purpose. Assuming that
it's also possible. Like I said, I wouldn't.
It can both theories, but it's God or not. Yeah. Maybe Mars has a purpose where it's meant to not have life. You know what I'm saying? And it's whatever it does.
It's doing it, and it's good job, Mars.
It's doing it for Earth's fucking whatever it is. Maybe that's the reason why I don't have. But I'm almost 100% sure there's life on other planets.
Yeah.
Out of our solar system.
Yeah.
But we're in the Milky Way.
Yeah.
And the Milky Way is a dot on this Earth compared to the rest of the fucking universe.
Yeah.
So
why would God create multiple universes?
And only put life.
And then one dot has life.
And put life in this specific universe on this specific planet.
Right.
Right.
That's not even
wasted
logical.
All these other projects.
That's not even logical from a fucking
human
agnostic fucking standpoint. Like, why would he do that?
But yeah, I agree. So
what's your possible explanation for that? Because my possible.
You said you had an answer for what he said.
Yeah, what I said is like, why is it that like God wouldn't put a life on all the other 8 planets on our solar system?
all I was gonna say was there are other lives.
No, but what I mean is like again, like if you could create life, right? Like you have these, you created. Wouldn't you want to like?
But that's a human's perspective.
Yeah, and that's something that we can never get over.
Put in abundance.
Yeah, because like to me, because
again,
I can only answer the question for myself. It's just like if I had
make it cool.
Yeah, because if I had 8 planets, I would put different life on all those planets just so I can see.
Now you don't have to just worry about going to a different continent or a different country. You can literally go to a different planet and visit.
Right, but and I think that would benefit this planet.
Everyone.
That would benefit everyone.
Yeah, more resources. Yeah, different fucking realities, perspectives, and
if I go to another planet, man, and everything is all fine and dandy, I'm gonna go to the black people and I'm be like, beware of the white people.
Right, warn them niggas.
Watch out for the white people,
bro.
Watch out for the white people.
I'm so glad you brought that up because you mentioned something before we started recording.
I'll be like,
you was mentioning parallel.
I'll be like, the parallel universes.
Universe and parallel time zones. Like, I'm telling you, don't. I'm warning everybody. I'm warning everybody. But that makes me think of what you said before we started recording. Of the parallel universes, they're I believe that too. Where I believe they're all parallel timelines and parallel. Like there's another version of me in another type of a time continuum, and he's probably white. He probably has AIDS. He's white. He's probably 6'5".
I'm gonna sound a little crazy. I might sound a little crazy to
you're not
but
crazy. Not to us.
I'm perfectly saying with this, what has always been in existence in the solar system?
Are you asking us?
It's a number of things.
Yeah.
I guess the sun.
Yeah.
The sun.
The sun. Now, where do we get energy and information from?
I mean, energy. Well, I mean, our brains.
The sun.
The sun.
The sun. Yeah. They told us
we get information from the sun.
Yes.
I mean, we get some information. What you mean, like information from our brains?
Yeah. They tell us not to look at the sun, but what is scientifically proven that causes us looking from the sun?
I mean, I have trouble with the sun. I can't do it for long.
Not for long. You have to build up to it.
Yeah.
When I was little, I had to build up to it as well. Now I can look at the sun for 7 to 10 seconds straight.
Really?
Bare eye, yeah.
Right.
I spoke to my grandfather a couple weeks ago. Well, more like months now, and he was telling me like, yo, you could download like information from the sun, and there's a couple people in like the conscious community. I like to put quotation around the conscious community.
Yeah, right. Because you woke or are you really woke?
Yeah, a lot of people do stupid shit too. Right. There's these dudes, blue pill, red pill. They call I believe they're twins. I definitely know they're brothers, but they're what is it? Stepfather? Yeah, their stepfather for a while was Dr. Sebi. He's crazy.
Really?
He's married to their mom. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, one of them blue pill. Like he does like morning downloads. Like he would stare at the sun for a couple. I don't know how long, and he would just give like a message of the day kind of thing. But yeah. So this is how I like perceive life, right? Every invention, everything man-made existed before. This is just how I look at it.
In another parallel universe?
It could be in another parallel universe, or it could be on the planet, because it was proven that we went through Ice Age and all kinds of stuff, right?
Yeah.
And according to the Bible, there's other, civilizations that were wiped out.
Yeah.
And the planet was flooded, and we had to restart and all these. It depends on what you subscribe to. But my thing is like everything that we think of was potentially made before, and it's
potentially
just,
or have been.
I would say potentially.
It's no way to.
First time I said had definitively.
Because the first time he said yes, so now he's saying potentially. So
I would say potentially now. Yeah, he's a fucking
yeah.
etymology. He's an etymology police. Like, oh, you said the word. You said this word 17.5 seconds ago. Now you said.
Right.
Oh damn.
Right.
Relax.
I noticed that.
But I like it though. But
me too.
Keep me on my toes. But yeah, I would like to say potentially. Occurred before. Right. And all that's happening now, it's like
a cycle, kind of.
Yeah, it's cyclic to an extent, and because information is stored in light. Information travels through light. So what I'm saying right now is not at all too far-fetched. Yeah, thinking on a technological level. When you store stuff on your phone, you can store it in the cloud. Look up at the clouds. You see what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
Why? Now this is coincidental.
Like,
why would y'all call that the cloud?
It could be a lot of things.
It could have been the folder,
a box,
the file, the compartment.
iBox.
Yeah, iFile.
iFile.
You see what I'm saying? So it's like, why are you making? What is that?
iRape.
All right, Adam.
You gonna get us fucking banned in every country in the world, dude.
But you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, nah.
Like that makes
it was very
It's kind of like
talk about play on words,
right?
But it's kind of like what we talked before about like the movies. Like they're choosing to like they're telling you something,
they
but
give
without
you hints of
hints.
Piece of candy. Oh, piece of candy.
Right.
Yeah, but when we realize it's when we're in the box. That's the sad thing about the majority of us. Yeah. Others are realizing they like, alright, this candy, like beware of this candy. I was
gonna bring up, and I totally forgot.
But that's just how I look at stuff. The sun has always been. The sun was the first thing created because even the Bible tells us. He said the first thing he said was, "Let there be light."
But was the sun only created? First thing created?
I would say so.
Well, I mean, scientifically,
because.
Yeah, scientifically, no.
I would say so because the sun gives energy.
And
without the sun, the Earth
meaning our solar system, because they're bigger suns out there.
I don't know. I don't know about the other suns.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's assuming you believe scientists and
all
that jazz.
But according to what we're seeing with the solar system, the sun, without the sun, the solar system...
We wouldn't be able to be
The solar system would not live.
Well, you mean like our galaxy? Cause
no, our solar system, I'm saying.
Because our sun is in a galaxy. And outside that galaxy...
No, I mean, I get what I'm saying.
Like, if you believe... Nah, me too. If you believe that there are other life forms out there, there has another sun out there.
Okay, so if there's other suns, then there's other planets.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so without no sun, there's no heat. Ice Age on all the planets.
Yeah,
everybody dies.
Everything
dies. That's what I'm saying.
At the center of every
So you have to create that sustenance of life first, and then you create life after.
Right.
It's not like the seed coming, then it is, C be like, you know what? I think I want to be a 40-foot oak tree. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
No.
You gonna grow into that, regardless.
No.
Yeah.
But
I meant to say the fruit. The fruit. It's like the fruit is like, you know what? I think I want to be long to like a 40-foot tree. Because the seed is gonna grow to the tree.
it comes from the tree. Like,
exactly.
Yeah. So I mean, I get what you're saying is like at the center of every solar system.
Yeah.
Is a star. Like ours is just called the sun.
Right.
But
and then another fact I want to touch on this too. Another fact, this is historically proven too. Under the Vatican City, it's like a 5-6 mile library with artifacts and all kind of scrolls and stuff that were stolen from ancient Kemet. Now they're proven that there's proof that like I don't want to say helipads, but like it was like air pads existed in different continents. So we already had the model for the airplane. We already had a model for a car. We already had a model for a lot of these things. It's just that
symbols.
We're being incrementally, given certain inventions for our time period.
Yeah, like ancient civilizations.
Whenever
those people are fucked, man. Like they're like not fucked in, like the ancient civilizations. Like they had some really weird shit. Like I'm not.
It was very efficient though.
Very, very efficient.
Yeah.
What I mean is just like sometimes
very simpler. Someone said they would rather live back then those days.
I would rather live back then.
It depends. It depends with civilization. Because if we're talking about the Mayan civilizations, and what's that movie we watched in
I know what you're talking about.
where they were
10,000
sacrificing
BC.
niggas' head.
No, not 10,000 BC.
Apocalypto.
Yeah.
I don't want to live in that time. Nah.
But see, around that time,
killing me to sacrifice to a sun god, like.
Around that time, who knows what was happening in Europe? Who knows what was happening in Africa? Who knows what was happening in...
Well, we do know, like around the Mayans time, they weren't that long ago, so we know what was happening.
What was happening?
Wasn't it around the same time?
Not every continent was sacrificing people.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Nah, that's what I said.
It's like they would see future and they
would
see Donald Trump and shit. They'd be like,
I want to live in somewhere else, but
I want to live in this. Nah.
Probably be treated better there than in Europe, though. I mean, you're light skinned, so I guess, but you would probably be treated better by Mayans and Europeans.
Yeah. But we was talking about the sun and the solar system and all that. I mean, I seen a video recently on YouTube, and it showed. I mean, you probably saw it as well. And in Egypt, it was either Egypt or the Mayans, one or the other. Like the hieroglyphics on the wall and all that. They had all the planets leading up to the sun, like drew out, like carved out with the right fucking side proportions.
That's what I'm saying.
That's insane.
That's what I'm saying.
Like literally, literally, like the right makes me think like.
That's what I'm saying.
How the fuck did they know that?
I would believe it's
all this shit is already known.
Yeah.
All this shit is already known. That's what I'm saying.
No, but I got like, but
the pyramids are like aligned to
how the fucking
to it's like the stars.
They predicted right now what's going on with the opioid crisis with white people. They said, the white race was it was something.
I'm not gonna lie. That's everything about aliens, bro.
They will fall victim to the white girl. And what do we call cocaine? White girl.
Yeah.
And this is
white girl,
described in
sugar,
a Mayan
snow.
This is described in a
the Egyptians were
cave
different.
or whatever.
Sense. Yeah, they had like knowledge of like math, sciences, all
that shit makes me think though, like with the whole like the pyramids,
aligned to the stars,
the fucking the hieroglyphics,
what's the odds
and
of that?
like
well, there is no
the video I showed you about like these stones that were allegedly carried 20,000 miles.
And they like weigh like 2 tons and shit.
What, for the pyramids?
No, the video I showed you.
Oh,
was
yeah.
But they're like 400 tons.
Yeah.
No fucking equipment.
Not only that.
Aliens,
like,
bro. Aliens,
right.
bro.
I know it's either aliens or some other shit, son.
Aliens, bro.
Today, no superpower can recreate pyramid.
Nah, real talk.
Even if we did know, it'll be like, how the fuck did they figure this out back then?
Like, were the people 50 feet tall back then? Were the aliens using fucking telekinesis and to lift shit up? These are all things that I wonder.
Were they playing poker?
Or God was just like, I'm gonna make this shit I'm gonna just make a fucking. I'm gonna draw it out.
Cut it out.
Just place it perfectly.
But do
put
y'all
the star
believe,
right there.
Do y'all believe? I'm getting my Steph Curry shit. Y'all believe the moon landing was real?
I do. I have so
I'm
much,
not gonna lie.
I have so much faith in science that like I'm one of those guys that if you
Okay, you can have
humans?
science. You have faith in America.
yeah,
and humans.
true.
I don't believe
Because science
then-
is like science. The science.
But then in that sense,
you have faith in humans actually living up to that science.
Yeah, but that's where science is.
But we're
what I
flawed
mean
as
is,
fuck.
Americans weren't the only ones that ever went to the moon, that ever went to space,
I believe
all that kind
they
of
claim
stuff.
Russians,
Russia, like
And that's why
Japan,
I think that
China,
we didn't live on there because we were trying to rush to get there before Russia, so we probably just fucking
went to Hollywood,
right? And just so that if that video is a video they showed, what was it, the 70s or 60s when they went
60s, late 60s.
If that's the video they showed and Americans bought it, you fucking baby boomers
And then to add
are
to that,
retarded, nigga.
To add to that, America donated a moon rock to some museum in England, somewhere in Europe, right? It was Europe, and then when they tested it, it was compressed wood.
And it's
fucking liars.
No, yeah, that's the funny thing. Is like, I mean, like,
and the people put it out. They're like, this
I
is
used
not
to have
moon
like
rock.
one of those mystery conspiracy books.
Yeah.
One of them was like, and one of them was like on the moon landing, and they had these things like how the flag when they took a picture, I mean the flag it has like ripples on it.
Yeah.
And there's no wind.
There's
no
wind.
And
they
then,
say it's no atmosphere.
and then it just like there are some shadow patterns that are consistent with that are consistent with artificial light, like studio lights that are because like if you know like they say like, oh, if the sun is coming from this side, why is the shadow like over here? Like it's a lot of these weird different things that just makes you think like and again like this is like
you still believe it though.
No, I'm saying I have faith in it. Yeah, same thing. But what again? It comes back to like the thing that we brought up in our last episode was I wouldn't put it past America to fake that shit just in order to win the Cold War. Like
so you discredit the first moon landing, but you believe that we eventually, America eventually.
I'm not saying I'm discrediting it.
Oh,
you know why I don't think we landed?
Well,
because if I discredit the first one and we never went back,
exactly.
What other one am I gonna say? Oh, we finally did.
There was like 16 missions to the moon or something like that.
Yeah, there was a couple. But my thing was,
I don't know if it's 16, but there was a lot.
It was more than one.
Yeah.
My thing is, why put all the emphasis on the first one?
Right.
You bullshitted. It was debunked by other scientists.
Yeah, where's the other 15 that you?
So why you never came back and justify? Well, we actually did it in 1972 or 1981. We the first 2-3 times we bullshitted.
Right.
But we actually did it on such.
The thing is, like, I don't give a shit. The moon is the moon. Like,
if
it was like a Mars mission, then I'd be interested into it. Like,
I do give a shit.
shaking or whatever.
I do give a shit.
But if it's the moon, well, in the sense that like
I give a shit for a moment. Then I'm just like, all right.
I'll give it in the sense that it's like, okay, like I didn't need this to prove to me that America likes to lie to them. Like I don't need the moon landing to believe
right.
It. If there's no other purpose for it than that. Like there are other things that could make me believe that. But and also at the same time, it's like it's the moon. There ain't shit there.
Yes, there is. There's pyramids on the moon.
There's like colonies.
Now, going back to what I said before, everything we did, everything under nothing is new.
There's footsteps on the fucking moon.
There's footsteps on the moon. If there's pyramids, you gotta walk on the moon and build a pyramid on the moon.
If the aliens fucking floating,
this is why I go back to what I was saying. Where like there's nothing new under the sun, and so if there's pyramids on the moon. That means someone preceded us in getting there, actually getting there. You know what I'm saying? So
assuming that it was people that did it.
People, yeah.
Well,
could be
aliens.
Came
to Egypt and
God.
Give us gold, we'll build a pyramid.
Isn't that not gold?
Because gold is conducted.
Oh, I finally remembered.
Gold is.
I'm gonna write it down before I forget. Go ahead, continue. I don't want to forget it. I'll write it down.
No, but isn't that like there's like a lot of ancient civilizations that said that like that's how their civilization started? They had like.
Outer space,
and it gave them the technology that they needed, or like the guidance that they needed.
They say. I don't know how true that is, but they say. But my thing is, I don't believe America never ever made it to the moon. I don't believe any country ever made it to the moon.
Really?
Yes. What I believe is because they created substations, space stations, and they have a lot of cameras and machinery and robotics in outer space. So what we could do is dedicate $1 billion, $2 billion to R&D. Create this super camera, take pictures of the moon and all this shit, and then hey, this is what we have.
Fucking green.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. Oh, green screen.
Not necessarily green screen, but we have the actual pictures of the moon.
Yeah.
But as far as someone being physically on the moon, no, we don't have it.
Yeah. But I mean, like.
And to add to that, well, before I get off the topic, like this is the last thing I want to say. The actual one of the astronauts who actually was on that first, what was it, the Apollo, the first
mission,
mission, back in the late '60s.
That movie was good too. The alien mission.
He said when they broke. He said when they broke Earth's atmosphere and they did get out of space, there was like it was like the size of like a army carrier, the Air Force jet carriers. Yeah, airplane carriers.
Like on the water.
Yeah, the naval airplane carriers.
That's huge.
That we used to build at Artie's.
Right.
Yeah, the size of that, like passed right by the spaceship. The spaceship. You said shout out to Artie.
Shout out his daughter.
Shout out to Artie's daughter.
Artie's daughter was fire though.
The white one.
Oh yeah,
right.
Because
Shout out to Artie daughter.
Yeah.
All respect.
He said the size of one of them shits, like passed by the
Just the
space.
size
On
or
some
like the
fucking
shape
Thanos
like...
ship type shit.
Yeah, a ship.
Infinity.
Of course, there's gonna be a ship, but it passed by on some like.
Was it multiple? He said multiple.
I don't recall him saying.
But,
multiple.
And where did they go? Did they observe it going anywhere?
I do not.
No, it was like an intimidatory like tactic. Like yo,
I do not discount that.
Like go back. Like don't fucking come out of here.
Like you and I.
You're past your jurisdiction.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
saying?
saying?
I believe that.
And then when he came back and he was talking about it, he was blacklisted. He was told, discredit what he's saying. You know, he's talking about, traumatic experience. Like, I'm the one that went out.
That's crazy.
Yeah, exactly.
And the thing is, it makes me think. I know you're about to say something, but it makes me think. If this guy was an astronaut, y'all was fucking with him for a while, right? And he did come home and say, yo, he saw this. Which has nothing to do with y'all, with Earth and all the other shit. This is some shit he saw. Why y'all so, like, eager to, bring him down and shut him down? Like, that makes me think that y'all don't want us to know some shit.
Yeah.
So it makes y'all look even more guilty, which makes me believe him more.
Yeah.
This shit has he's not saying the government is doing this.
Mm-hmm. He's just saying I saw something.
Yeah.
And y'all on something like, he crazy type shit.
And then
that makes me think that y'all
Bill Cooper, author of Behold the Pale Horse, in his foreword, he talked about encountering a spacecraft, alien spacecraft. He said he was on board of one of the naval ships in the water.
He was on the spacecraft.
He was on his naval carrier, and he was talking with two of his friends, like we talking right now, and it came out of the water in front of him, zoomed away into the sky, and then he was like so lost the words. He wanted to explain to his friends, but like the words just wasn't coming.
Yeah.
And then it came back, and his friends saw it that time. Everybody saw it. It came back, and then it went back underwater. And then when that happened, like they shouted for like the naval captain or whatever. He came. Anyway, long story short, when he was back on U.S. soil or whatever, he met with like a superior, and he was taken into a room. He asked him, "What did you see?" He explained to him what he saw. He started yelling at him for like 3 minutes. He's like, "What did you see?" He's like, "I didn't see anything." He's like, "Thank you." Like, thank you for your cooperation. Like, all right, shut the fuck up now.
Type shit.
Yeah.
Like,
we
don't want to hear about this. Like, anybody that don't believe me, like,
it's either on some mind control or they tortured that nigga so he never tells it.
But one thing that I would believe more.
That's crazy. I believe that shit.
I'll believe more.
Call me gullible if you want.
If there's shit like spacecrafts and all that stuff, I'll believe more that it's in the ocean rather than space, because we can see space. We can, at least to a certain extent,
right?
We can see all of it. Like we can see certain points, and like it's very easy to hide.
As above, so below.
But yeah, it's just as easy to hide something underwater than it is.
Yeah, so we don't know 90% of that shit.
Yeah.
And another video I saw, it spoke on that. It was like, how people are so focused on space and
there's shit
we
here.
have space on Earth. Yeah. Like underwater is untouched. It's certain areas we literally can't. I mean, there's animals out there, but like it's shit that we can't go because we physically not capable
can't
by no
pressure,
device,
yeah.
by no fucking ship, nothing can go down there.
That we created so
Yeah.
far. Yeah.
Yeah.
So far. So.
Shit is nuts, son.
That's crazy, man. I just want to know what's down there, though.
Right.
I really want to know.
It's some shit.
There's some like fish aliens out there.
Right. But yo, I know this kind of like backtracking, but before we end this, Black Mirror. You watch Black Mirror?
Love that series.
So what about you?
Nah, not as much.
So you seen in season 3, which is coming back. I'm excited. Season 4 actually. In season 3, the episode. Remember the episode where the guy worked at this office, but he had like a simulation game that he had his coworkers in.
Oh, the McAllister, USS McAllister?
Yes.
Yeah, where they're like in spaceships and...
Bro, that shit tripped me out. The episode is like... And this shit, that ain't fun. It's crazy.
So...
Let me explain.
It's sick, bro.
It's
super sick.
So... And this what makes me think, like, about this, but they were aware that they were in it though. So look, it's this guy, works at some place...
He's a loser. He's nobody in the job.
He's a loser, nobody. But he created this simulation game where like if he takes a part of like you, like piece of hair or like he can put your body and your consciousness, not like your physical body, but like he can put your consciousness in that game to the point where like
as a character,
you know that you're it, like you have your own consciousness.
Your perception is
like you know you're there.
From just
like you know you're trapped in that shit.
Your perception is in that game, no longer on Earth. Like your body on Earth is a body on Earth,
just a vessel.
not moving. Like it's just there.
Like it's not like he made like a similar version of you. It's like he put you in that shit, and you're fucking trapped. Like you feel trapped.
It's like that episode of Yu-Gi when they was there was actual monsters.
Yes.
I got what y'all saying.
So what happens is basically they treat him like shit at work. So at the same time, he's like building this stuff, and every time he goes in there, he's like the captain, he's the king, he's everybody listen to him and all that stuff. Yeah. But the thing is,
World of Warcraft.
The sick thing about it is it's like a TV show. They're reliving the same episode over and over. But he brought them in there, and they have to do everything that he says over and over.
And if they don't, he can change them into shit. He changed this bitch into a fucking alien.
Oh my god!
And she had her same conscience, but she was talking alien shit, this big ass ugly shit. He chopped some bitch he made her like her head pop off, some wild shit, but she was still alive.
It's crazy, man.
Like he controls the whole simulation.
He's like God in there, basically. That's basically
it's like
what it is.
He separates the consciousness. Like
this is the same loser guy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the girl who he brought in, because he had a crush on her. He brought her in. She started to figure it out. Like, so she like sent an email to herself, her real self, saying, "Yo, we're trapped in this simulation. I have my own consciousness. Like, it's really us." And they somehow like, you gotta see it.
Yeah,
it's crazy. It's that makes me think though. Like,
they ended up getting out.
No.
So that's the thing about Black Mirror. It never has that.
Yeah.
Like
it's some fucked up shit. Yeah. Like they were trapped in it, but they ended up fucking up his life. They put him like in this ship where he was drifted off to fucking. And you can't die in the simulation. So he's in the ship, going through fucking the universe forever, and he has real consciousness. So he's literally stuck there for eternity. There's no dying. There's no jet. There's no food. You don't have to eat.
Yeah.
There's
nothing.
I
was gonna say that.
Let's fathom that. Let's fathom that.
Life,
for the rest of your life,
you don't age.
You don't age.
Yeah. Well, listen. That was one of the questions that people always ask.
That's so.
Would you want to live forever? Would you want to be?
I would not.
You would not.
I used to think I want to.
Yeah.
I would not.
Because you're not thinking far enough. No. You're just thinking, hey,
everything you're dying. Everything. Every person
y'all crying about
is dying.
Overpopulation now. Imagine everybody immortal.
Right.
Fuck.
Bro, that episode really was like,
yeah, you know, we need to have like a Black Mirror episode after you watch it.
Yeah. I'm gonna binge watch mad shit when I
yeah, I mean, you know, do you remember the one with the army guys, where they put like your into your eyes that you see your enemies as monsters, so that it's easier to control the military.
That shit was on some like
that's cool.
Like
that's smart.
Like how white people see us in society.
Yeah.
That's where I got that from. Yeah, you seen that one, right?
No. No, I'm saying like if you see your enemy as
it's called man on fire.
You have to,
it's lower friendly fire and it's you boom.
Yeah.
But I mean, like first, like that's what they did. That's what they did to the Vietnam War and then World War II. Americans made like
propaganda
made like Japanese people as like lesser than human.
Yeah.
So that they can justify dropping a bomb on it. Because if we
That
saw
looks-
them
That
as
sounds
humans-
familiar.
Yeah.
yeah.
That sounds real familiar.
Yeah.
And the Vietnam, Viet Cong. all
That episode
shit.
is fucking crazy, son. Even with the episode with the guy from Get Out, where he had to run in the track every day to gain points and shit.
That's the first episode. No, it's the
That
second.
shit
I know
is
that
that shit
one.
correlated
Yeah.
with life. Like we in this rat race of 9 to 5
to get points
and just
to get
get points
To
to
get
get like a
food and
little
all
bit
that
of
stuff.
food and like a
And then
and a
he
chance of
pissed it
stardom.
away with that girl over that
Right,
girl.
he gave
But
her a
look,
chance.
and then look what happened.
And
Right?
she became a fucking porn
My
star.
favorite thing about that is when he
Nuts.
went on stage and he dropped all the knowledge, like he said everything about them. They
He
get
sold
up
out
and
then.
not even that. Like he thought he was like getting to these people's heads. They got up and applauded like it was a show.
Right.
Like he was like he didn't matter at all to them. They were like, all right, now you gotta what you just did right now. Now you have to do that every day.
They put his outer simulation in a simulation.
Oh my god, that's sick, man. Sick. Show's insane.
Yo.
You know what, technology though. You know what I like about that one is when you have that chip in your.
I was
like,
just
that can
thinking that. That's
record
one of my
the memory-
favorite.
The
The
memory,
fucking playtest.
No. Playtest is the video game one.
But he had
Well,
chips
he's
in
talking
the
about
back.
the
No,
memory.
talking about the
the
one
memory
where
when
like-
your eye turns like white.
It turns into like you can record conversations.
Oh, that's one of my
And
favorite
then-
episodes.
That, yeah, cause that
I
is
watched that
my
with
favorite
women.
episode.
To be like, I'm like that nigga just without the rewind and shit. I'm keeping everything you doing, bitch.
Cause like she cheats on him, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And there's a scene where she like denies it and he plays it back.
Right.
Yeah. I remember.
I love that shit, bro. I love that shit. And that's episode you gotta watch more than once.
Yes.
Because you gotta catch.
Cause you catch
shit she was doing. Like,
But, yeah,
why
but-
she so friendly and so.
Like
so
when they
small
went to
when
the
he
party
comes
for the
around.
first time, she was like when he looks at her, she like puts her hand away from that
I
guy.
keep all that shit, bro. So I'm telling you, yeah, women that y'all think I don't know about these two niggas, but he got a girl. You got some right chick you fucking with. I'm telling you right now.
Disrespectful. That's my girl, bro.
I'm peeping
Put some respect on her name.
everything, bro.
Just because somebody's in a relationship, that doesn't mean they're less.
I know, but I'm talking about like dating multiple women. Not that I am. I'm just saying I'm single, so there's a possibility. No, I don't want to get in trouble with anybody. You know. Just joking. Come entertainment. But
it's like our technology is getting that way right now, though. It's not visual, but you can track people easily using their devices.
You can track on the iPhone.
Yeah, you can track people.
We can track
Bro,
where
Sprint
people
has
been
a
at,
Sprint
how
has a
long
service.
they've been there.
Yeah.
All of that.
You can
Sprint
see,
has a service called Lookout where you can put a tracking device on niggas' phones.
yeah, in real time, man. You can
Literally.
see the move. You can see the move.
We have
in
something
real
called
time,
Sprint
right?
Drive where you put it in your car, it tracks your car. Tracks how many miles you got.
Smartphones have that though. Like there's a tracker built into the phone. Like,
Yeah.
It's like a safety feature for your kids. Is that really what people can use it for?
Right.
Yeah.
Also, before we end this, because one of my favorite episodes. Like real talk. This time. No. This episode was one of my favorites. Real talk. I ain't gonna front. The last 3 or 4 we did was just like
We've been getting better.
top fucking notch. Like
Yeah.
the one with the ladies.
I'm proud of you guys.
Right.
So
Right.
proud.
The one with Steven and
Glad I could-
William. Like it's
Glad I could make
crazy.
This all possible.
But fucking playtest. You seen playtest?
Nah. I don't think
That
was
ending
It was like
fucked me
Inception
up,
plus
bro.
Resident Evil plus
Son.
it was like a bunch of like
I don't think I saw that.
Playtest was about, and you don't care about spoiling shit. And if you haven't seen it by now, then pause it.
That's
right
what I'm
now,
gonna say.
Go watch it. And
I don't
then
care. Black Mirror is
unpause it.
popular. If you haven't
Right.
seen it by now, it's your fault.
Right, it's your fault. He met this lady on vacation or whatever. She told him about this this study,
Virtual reality
thing where they put a chip in the back of your head and you can start seeing virtual things. It's not really there, but it's like virtually, right? So he went there, and it fucked me up because when he was sitting down at the end,
when they see the timestamp,
he sat down. The lady said, "Turn your phone off because it may fuck with the frequency and it may interfere with the whole process." But he didn't do it. She walked out. He turned his phone back on. He was sitting down. He had the thing on. He started seeing little chipmunks. It was working, right? Working fine. She walked the room, turned it back on. His mom called. From that moment to the end, he went to like this mansion.
Wait, question. The woman came back into the room where
she's working with the whole
and
thing,
his mom called while she was back in the room.
No, his mom called. Yeah.
So she saw that his phone wasn't.
Yeah, he said right,
okay.
And she was like, oh,
and
then she took his phone, took it out.
Yeah.
Right. So after that, he went to this mansion, and then
simulated mansion. Like,
simulated mansion.
It's all happening in his mind.
Right.
Yeah.
And like. Things that you fear would start popping up. So it was a spider at first, then it was a bully.
Because
then they combined. Huh?
Was it his mom, right? Like his relationship with his mom was like a
at the end, like
at the end, like
yeah.
All because he left his phone on.
No. We don't know this yet.
Yeah.
We don't know this yet. So all this is happening, right? So all of a sudden, the girl goes crazy, right? She gets a knife, stabs him. It goes from illusion like virtuality to like he feels the knife in him type shit. He's like, yo, what the fuck? Then there's like things like on his ear. It was like, yo, let's say Bob. Yo, Bob, something went wrong. Nah, you're starting to like feel the virtuality shit or whatever, right? Everything's happening. All this shit, everything's happening. You gotta see it. All this happening, right?
The entire episode.
Skip to the end. He happens to die, right? It skips to reality. None of that shit happened. The whole movie happened in 0.4 seconds. From the moment his phone rang, his brain hallucinated. Put that whole picture, fit it into 0.4, he fucking died. 0.4 seconds after the phone rang.
After they turned on the machine. So basically,
oh
what
man,
happens
that
is
shit was crazy.
kind of like you've seen Inception.
I never seen it.
Inception is a
I
horror
wanted to
movie.
see it.
No, it's like the DiCaprio movie where they go inside people's dreams.
Oh, no.
So
I saw part of
I
it.
have to look at.
So
I
they
want to see it.
They have this, like they say, like your brain processes things faster, including time. So in Inception, when you go into a dream, time passes by slower because you're processing your mind. So if you stay in a dream for like an hour and you come back, only 5 minutes pass in real time.
Right.
So
I have heard that before.
Yeah, and so like what happens is, in Inception, they go into a person's dream, and then in that dream, they go into the person's dreaming. Somebody goes to sleep in that dream, and they go deeper into the level. So the deeper you go into the level, the slower time goes. So you could be stuck there for like 9 years.
But it's really
when you
only
wake
an hour
up,
in real life.
it's only been like an hour.
So
that's what happened in playtest. You realize that when they did the virtual reality, while he was inside the virtual reality, they put him under again. That's when he went into the mansion. The mansion was another virtual reality inside of the virtual reality. So it's like, again, all these things, he's experiencing all these things as if they're happening like a whole day passed or whatever. But then when they come back to real time, he died instantly.
Yeah.
That shit was sick.
Bro. I'm thinking about other episodes, but we'll be here forever. Like
we could talk, a Black Mirror could be an entire episode. So
Word 2. Like
I gotta catch up. Sounds
nuts.
interesting.
And before we end this, I just want to point out something. Do y'all know that when y'all see a shooting star in the air, like when we see it, that shit actually happened like 50 years ago or some shit?
not all the time, but it's
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, because like we like by the time it reaches like our like
Perception?
like our vision,
Yeah.
like by the time like our vision reaches it,
Yeah.
It's already dead.
that shit happened like years ago.
Oh wow.
That shit blew my mind.
Here's kind of like why like to kind of show you like how vast the universe is or whatever. So we have something called the observable universe. So basically we can only see something that light has touched.
Right.
And so we can so there is an edge to the universe that we can see because light hasn't reached it yet. It's still going,
That's
ongoing.
Crazy.
So what happens is if somebody like they said like the light is always escaping for you to see, right? So the light, let's say there's a planet that's like 14.6 trillion miles away, right? The light that has reached it is information, because you say light, information passes through light. So what you see from 14 billion, like the light that has reached that point, is the light that left Earth 14.6 million years ago. So what they would see is not us now. They would see the dinosaurs. They would see like that.
Right.
Because the
yeah,
light,
Yep. That is true.
The light of this conversation that we're having now, you can see over there because information is instant. But the further back you go, it won't reach there yet. Like it'll take a while. So that's why they said like if aliens are observing us right now, depending on how far away they are, they might be looking at the Romans, because that light hasn't reached that point yet. That's why like that gives like the
that shit
the
is
the improbability of
like you would think. Sorry to cut you off. I'm sorry to cut you off. Nah, I am sorry. You were saying some good shit. You would think, even though you're not seeing it, it's still happening in real time.
You would,
but
think.
That's not the reality when it comes to like the like some shit could be like literally if it's that far away and you literally can't see it. That shit probably didn't even happen yet.
That's why they say, like, for example, because it takes like what 8 minutes.
World is crazy.
8 minutes for light from the sun to reach us.
Okay.
So, if the sun blows up, we wouldn't be able to see it. Like that information it takes 8 minutes for us to see it. But we wouldn't. But the destruction happens instantly. So we might blow up, but we would never see it actually blow up. Like we would just die. The information will never get to us. Like the destruction
That's
will.
Interesting.
Yeah, the destruction. You would never know. You would see the sun as it is, super cool, chilling, and then the earth just blows up. Because you wouldn't. Yeah, space is insane,
bro.
What is it like?
Where did you find that out?
That shit is nuts.
Well, I read this through like libraries and shit when I was like younger.
Okay.
Because they're always trying to illustrate like how far away the sun really is. What is it, like 350 million miles or something like that?
It's not accurate.
It's I don't know.
Yeah, it's pretty, but it's far enough that even at the speed of light, we won't be able to see it right away. Like the light has to travel to get to that information has to travel to get to the Earth,
right? And
it's far enough that we're not seeing it at the exact time. We're seeing it 8 minutes later.
Okay,
shit is nuts.
Yeah, we got I got a fact of the day for us, man.
Fact of the week. Good try.
Fact of the week.
So that shit gonna happen. No,
this was a good. This
what we talking about?
Yeah.
The Romans
pizza
conquered.
It don't. But oh man.
Yeah, this was a very. I'm telling you. I told people on my Instagram, we gonna make y'all niggas put on y'all thinking caps this episode, which we always do. But we gonna really have y'all niggas go inside out on y'all brains this episode. Like
that's our New Year's resolution.
Think outside the box.
The content
outside that box.
Think outside the cloud, bro. Think outside the cloud.
That's a fact. But the content this year is gonna be different.
Right.
Yeah.
We're gonna elevate this shit. Real talk.
Yeah, I'm just gonna say, like, urge everybody who's listening to, because we did bring up a lot of points, but they were from our perspective.
Yeah.
And just like us talking to each other, we were able to, learn other things just from me talking to you.
And grow. Yeah.
And not argue and not get disrespectful and all that type of shit.
Kind of disrespectful. But, so like, urge people to just like comment on this. If there's something that they listen to that they like, but they want to add on to,
comment.
Let us know.
We want to hear y'all perspectives too.
And do your own researches.
Right.
Don't take anything for face value. Take every single thing you hear with a grain of salt. And allow your critical mind to,
Word of the week is frequentially.
Word.
Frequentially.
Word.
Yeah. When you
let the God who's similar in your life simulate your thoughts.
I like that.
Ooh. Stimulate your thoughts, name of the episode.
But
fact of the week. Go with frequency, real talk.
This week's fact of the week. Oh my God, can I get my shit off?
Sorry. We're sorry to cut you off. We're sorry.
Damn, son. Fucking black people. Alright, so this week's fact of the week. By 2032, half of the country and 80% of males will be autistic.
God damn. But based on what metric though? Like what?
By 2032. 13 years from now.
Half of the...
This is what is projected, yes.
Males?
Half of America. Half of America. And 80% of males.
On the planet.
Of America.
America.
Will be autistic.
Half of America but of the planet.
But half of America, but 80% of the planet.
I thought you meant like half of America, but then 80% of the world. So.
Half of America.
Wow.
And then 80% of the male population in America will be autistic.
Son, that makes me...
Will be autistic.
That makes me...
Not want to have children.
I already...
In America.
So I already had like very distinct decisions on like, should I even bring children into this world?
Yeah.
Honestly. And I have anxiety of like people having kids.
It's like 1 in 80.
and like the kid having something.
Yeah, and then now
I had those anxieties. Like, damn, what about a kid? Obviously, I'm gonna love it, but it's like we gotta be honest. Like, you gonna love your kid a little less if he's not fully let's cut the bullshit.
Well,
that's like you get a laptop and you get it and the laptop is
I wouldn't say that.
Like one button doesn't work. You're gonna be like, damn, I want that button to work though. I got it's brand new. Come on, like you're not gonna say that you hate the child.
Yeah, I understand.
Probably gonna be like, damn, like you're gonna wish.
I'm gonna be devastated. I'm gonna kill somebody.
But not.
I mean, it's the
if my child received vaccination and that happened,
and you didn't ask for it,
I'm putting hands on something.
But that always been like a worry of mine. Like, damn, what if I get a kid and like he's missing a limb or he's born with like type of disease?
Take care of yourself with your diet and
I know
do your business in the bedroom.
I mean, there are things that are gonna happen regardless of that. I feel like.
I have a fact of the week too. Actually, speaking
we
of
don't acknowledge other people's.
I'm not actually black.
What's wrong with this
I
guy?
just tan a lot.
Dominique. Yo, I'm taking over this podcast, bro.
You're not.
You're bugging
You're not.
bugging.
But you can. I mean,
you're bugging.
You can
Go
do
ahead.
it. You have really straight teeth, bro. You have braces?
Nah.
No. Oh yeah.
They got straight teeth in Madagascar like that.
we discovered it like 10 years ago, but now we all have one. So anyway, speaking about overpopulation, you can fit every human on Earth inside Texas.
What?
Really?
Every single all like 7.8 billion of it or whatever, you can fit. And they say too, I don't know like the dimensions are.
They're gonna be like this.
No, that's the thing. Because you might think like, oh, there's no space, but you can put all 7.8 billion people on Earth in Texas, and each of them can have their own individual house. Not the size of a huge house. I forgot what the dimension is.
Not house.
Not a house. It can have its own space.
A fucking room.
But you can have you can have space. But that
closet.
Like, a home FEMA coffin.
Right.
What?
But isn't that insane that 7.8 billion
Texas
people
is that
can?
big?
Texas is really big.
Texas is huge, but I didn't even think of it in this perspective before. Like,
but see, that's what I was saying earlier. Like, y'all saying that, but we really don't know. A lot of us really don't know how much landmass on the Earth is unoccupied.
Yeah, I'm saying for good reason. Most of it's like desert. Most of it you won't be able to live there. Most of it is like rainforest and shit that you don't want to cut.
Not most of it.
But like there's a lot of most of it is also water. Unless you want to live underwater.
No, but he's
that's
saying
why land.
Yeah. All right. Yeah.
This guy talking about
Just
water.
Yo, we gotta end this shit, man.
Yo, why do people drop?
Adam keep fucking talking. Yo, this is the last time we have
He trying to be the trio, but
why do people drop? Why don't they just drink the water?
Boy, shut the fuck up.
That's some high shit. Why people just drown? Why don't they just drink the water?
Why do people starve? Why can't they just eat?
We ended the episode. This nigga. Yo, this is the last.
Look, thank you guys for listening. First episode of the year. It was a great one. We going on for fucking 2 hours and 40 minutes, and I appreciate. Look, real talk. I want to say this because I never used to listen or watch Joe Budden's podcast because it was so long. 2 hours minimum.
Right.
2 hours and a half. They had 3 episodes. I fuck with all the people that like, and I know who y'all are too. They listen every single week to full 3-hour episodes we had. 2 on like that shit is dope.
Thank you.
Cause I would never do that for any other podcast besides the ones that I really fuck with. So I know y'all really fuck with us.
Unless the person got it. Well, it depends on the content mainly.
No, it also depends on the content.
We have great content.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, we truly appreciate it.
We have great content.
We have. Thank y'all for listening, man, and watching. We appreciate y'all. Hope this year be great for y'all, cause we striving for it to be great for us.
That's a fact.
Bigger and better things this year. Just we ain't gonna tell y'all what it is.
Just wait on it.
I'm telling you. But yeah, man. Listen.
Bang.